volume's going in and out. But we're here to help each other reach our potential.
Yes.
What? Oh my god.
So, yeah.
There is a cough button. They should just say it's the burp button. I think what happened
that was
was
great.
is like the DoD put out like a false like press release or information brief. My God, Brittany, Jesus Christ, use the cough button.
What's the cough button?
It's the red button right.
Why would I press that if I have to burp?
Because it silences it.
But it's gonna catch on your microphone, isn't it?
I mean, it won't be.
She's proud of the burp.
She's into it. I don't know if it's just like anytime I talk about something deep, I feel like she's just like, bah, stop it.
It's just my stomach.
Right? Welcome to SimpCast number 9. Getting it together. Got a new intro that we're figuring out. So excited to be back this week with a killer lineup of awesome guests. I'm gonna start bringing them in one by one. You know her, you love her. Something else is playing. That's fine. We're just flying by the seat of our pants here. First guest I'm gonna bring in. You know her, you love her. She's back, but with straight hair. Your favorite shit-talking YouTube streamer type, and the diversity quota for SimpCast. Brittany Venti, how are you, girl?
Oh yeah, we do know her and love her. Frosk was her name, right?
Yes, Frosk. Yes, I was gonna play a little video, a little new intro for Frosk, but I'll have to do that next week. How have you been, Brittany?
I'm good. I wasn't intending on having my hair straightened today, so now it just looks like I'm having a mental breakdown, which I am, but that's beside the point. My mental breakdown was buying a cashmere pink leopard hat actually today. So
That's
now
not bad.
Yeah, for bimbo power.
That's the thing is I'm not going to start getting concerned unless I see bangs suddenly. That's when I will step in as a friend and make my concerns known. So you're doing fine. It's all good. Good to see you again, Venti.
Thank you.
Coming next to
I was going to say, and I'm sad to give up my diversity quota crown to one of our guests here.
Tonight's show is extra diverse. We're going to get extra diversity points. It's very exciting. Next guest, you know her, you love her. Hopefully you follow her on YouTube at That Star Wars Girl. Anna is joining us again. I may have muted her. She may have muted herself. Either way, isn't she beautiful, boys and girls?
Men like it better like that anyway.
Yeah, you know what? It's all good. It's all good. and breaking couple new guests breaking their SimpCast cherries tonight. She's pretty famous. She was a famous, and by famous I mean well-known nurse. I think she used to be an ICU nurse. I should remember this because I did do a full hour-long interview with this girl. She went from ICU nurse to OnlyFans phenomenon. Allie Rae, what's up, girl? She's got a fire OnlyFans, and you have your own crypto company called Wetspace.
I do open up my own crypto platform. It'll be like an OnlyFans, but we run 100% on cryptocurrency. So it'll be amazing.
This already sounds too smart and complicated for me, but I hope at some point during the show that you will be able to explain it a little bit more for me. But I feel like everybody at this point knows more about crypto than me. But
wait, did Chatterbait do that already?
Did what?
Didn't Chatterbait already do that concept, like tokens? It's like pretty similar.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like, I can say this, right? Yeah, like shit coins.
Yeah, say shit, just not the N word. Everything else I'm okay with.
There's a lot of like coins that are creating platforms, but there's never been a platform that is actually came out that we are accepting multiple cryptocurrencies. So we'll be accepting like a very long list, stable coins, a few volatile coins, and eventually down the road even more. But yeah, there's like a lot of token projects, but I can give opinions on those later. But yeah,
Ooh,
they're not doing so well.
Okay, I'm excited and I'm intrigued. Popping her wet spot cherry. But if you do watch my other show, Popping the SimpCast cherry, she has been seen on Wet Spot, my show on Compound Media, Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Another gorgeous OnlyFans chick, and just she's been a regular on so many other shows on Compound Media. She's just such a familiar face at this point. Whatevah, Amy.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
This is actually my second SimpCast.
Fuck. God damn it.
But my Wi-Fi kept going in and out, so you really can only count it as like a third of a SimpCast.
Okay.
This will be the hopefully we don't have any issues.
Okay. Good to see you again, Amy. And dress it just with smart cleavage. I didn't say to have cleavage, but
these are new. I'm debuting them on your SimpCast.
Right, the new boobs. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, okay. Wow, they look great. I should have given your new boobs a drum roll. And I knew that they were coming. I knew that this was their debut. Wow.
I had to debut them with you.
I'm honored and blessed, and hopefully your boobs will be taking questions tonight. So anybody in the chat. And last but not least, you may have seen her on CMP, my other show. Hopefully you follow one of her two YouTube channels, because she has two, a white version and a black version. So happy she's here today. Blaire White, what's up, girl? Good to see you.
Hey, apologies to Brittany. I think I've smashed the diversity quota into pieces.
Yeah.
But it's really good to be here.
Yeah, this is the most diverse SimpCast I think we've ever had. So,
I really agree with Chrissie's decision to have Blaire on, because I always said if we were going to have a man on, they would have to wear a wig. But this is like the perfect thing.
What?
Because the first man we have on, right, is essentially a woman. So
Brittany,
it's like
coming in
further gatekeeping it.
I thought I saw
from
Destiny.
the men.
Was that a different video?
Was he on SimpCast?
Destiny? No, I would never have Destiny.
That was after.
On SimpCast.
Oh, different show. Sorry. I saw you guys talking.
But we did all talk to him, and I don't know. I had a really hard time. I just find like there are a lot of... Oh, Anna's back. Anna's here. Hooray, hooray. Hi, Anna.
Nope.
Hi. I had to restart my router. I'm sorry.
It's all good. I find with a lot of these, I guess I would, if I were going to group them, I'd call them pedo sympathizers. Like Destiny is one of them. I think this guy Vito, I don't know what his last name is one of them. I have a hard time talking to these guys because I don't know. I have a hard time like not getting angry about the points that they make about like, well, let's think of it this way, and then they end up coming back to something like, you can have a little bit of alcohol, right? And then they try to draw similarities between like other vices and being a pedo, and that's where I just like.
Well, it's like society already kind of figured out the problem with pedophilia, right? And it's like these people, these fucking, won't even say it. They're like trying to offer new ways of looking at it. It's like we kind of figured it out. Not everything needs a deconstruction or to revise it. Like everyone's figured it out. Pedophiles are bad. They should die, or at the very least be in prison forever. And these people are like, well, here's a different way to think about adults fucking kids. It's like, fuck you. Like, shut up. Can I cuss on here? I'm so sorry.
Yes, curse all you want.
Okay.
And even and I said earlier, I'm like, oh, just don't say the N-word. But I know that when Gavin McGinnis has been on my show, he'll let it sneak out a few times, and then I have to go edit it out and post. So I think you gals will be just fine.
Now you're really taking away my diversity card. You're telling me I can't say the N-word?
I mean, you can, right? You can, Brittany, because you know, if you say it, not a hard R. But you know what? Who am I to suppress free speech? You know, if that is something that you feel like you need to say, hey, by all means, you know, go for it. It's been an so much has happened this week. Amy has new boobs. There's just a lot going on. Lena Dunham had I was thinking, like, why do I feel more at peace? Why does my life feel a little bit more calmer? It's because I hadn't heard about Lena Dunham for a couple of years. And now she's back. She's back on the prowl. She is having a so-called rebirth. And yikes. I don't mean to sound shallow, but if I am a mega celebrity and I am coming out for the first time in a long time in a rebirth, like I'm going to hit the gym a couple times. I'm going to, I don't know, not wear like a tarp. Like there's another version of this picture. She's basically wearing like the coat of many colors because that's the only thing that fits. And not
It's
to
ugly.
It's ugly. Thank you. So she's back. She's more bloated than ever. She's back. Her first film in a decade, Youthful Blind Spots and Hope. She's hoping to reboot Girls. The Polar.
It's not a reboot. It's a rebloat.
Yeah, like reboot is something when you throw up and then you have to throw up again. It's that's the feeling I get when I see Lena Dunham. This is out of the Hollywood Reporter. The polarizing auteur back at Sundance with Sexual Fable, Sharp Stick, which is what I want to shove into my eye every time I hear about Lena Dunham. Reveals how surviving hate, sickness, and addiction led to, I thought this said artistic rebirth. I love the next decade to be less about apologizing and just about openly making art. She's talking about how early 2020 she was living in London. She was excitedly preparing to make the first feature since 2010. Wow, that was in 2010, Tiny Furniture. That's, I think, when we first started hearing about her. And she moved to London in 2019 to direct the pilot of the HBO series Industry. And she's just going about how she was like in London. She bought the rights. Oh, what do you want to option? And then she was like, I'd really like to option this young adult novel about a medieval girl getting her period. 20 days before filming the set was to begin, the mushrooming COVID-19 pandemic shut it down. Then she got COVID. This all unfolded after Dunham had emerged from the darkest period of her life, a 50-car pileup, or how she puts it. It began during Girls, the final season in 2016, when the pressures of churning out the hit series while being, what the hell word is this? Cudgeled? Is this a word? Cudgeled.
I'm surprised you pronounced it right.
It's these word of the day emails I keep getting. I'm working on them. Daily on social media, I guess that means harassed, and in the press, taking hits for everything from her looks, including me just now, to her many well-documented PR gaffes, finally cracked her foundations. The right was calling her a child molester. Oh, this was based on a revelation in her 2014 memoir that at age 7, she'd examined her baby siblings' genitals. I don't know if I'd call that child molesting. It's definitely weird. I just don't think, I think at 7, you don't have the presence of mind to know like what you're doing.
At the very least, it's not something you put in a book.
No.
And, like, the world, you
no.
know?
Yeah. That is something you share with your therapist. And that's it, I think. The left was calling her a traitor for defending the Girls writer, executive producer Marie Miller against an accusation of rape. Okay, so this is all just sort of like the Hollywood Reporter is like fluffing up. Oh, she's had so much this up to be like, she's back, everyone. She's had to put up with so much other than just being, solidly famous for like the last decade. Those images of me at the last Girls premiere, she was skinny and hollow-eyed, and that was 100% my appetite and my body just shutting down. I mean, sometimes if that's what it takes to look good, no, just kidding. After Girls aired its final episode in 2017, things got worse. She was very focused in her 20s. She feared she may have peaked too soon. In 2018, they're really giving the full background. 2018, she did hysterectomy. I don't know that is I'm not a doctor, but that seems rather like a ratchet.
I mean, does that go on your resume? Or
Yeah.
Is that on her Wikipedia?
Yeah, this does feel like a lot. Hollywood Reporter is really trying to like build her up to be like, wow, she's back, everyone. She entered rehab. COVID could have been the final nail. I've always been by nature what I call a bed creature. I think that's shorthand for depressed. She explains during one of the several Zoom conversations, Dunham is seated on the floor of her parents' New York City. This is where you start to lose me. When you go, oh, her parents' New York City home. I go, all right, she's probably not somebody who had to struggle. So it's people who have parents I think are rich, and I feel like she was given a lot of opportunities to her early on, and because she doesn't have a lot of problems, she has to resort to pills, I think, and being bloated. I know that I sound like crass and uncaring, but I think I have
am I the only one that doesn't know who this lady is? Like, I've honestly never
created Girls. She wrote Girls, which was hit television series with Adam Driver. I
enjoyed that series. It was cute.
She's one of those people that the corporate press desperately wants to be famous and be a thing, but she's just not. It's just like Alyssa Milano. It's like you see them, but there's no real energy or fan base behind them. They're just kind of like, implanted by the press, and they're like, please like her. It's like she's very unlikable. I've never met anyone who's like, I'm a Lena Dunham fan.
No, and she has 5 million followers on Twitter, and I'm looking at her engagement, and I'm like, she should have way more engagement than she does for 5 million fans. She has like the kind of engagement I have.
Well, most of the talent agencies in Los Angeles, part of their contracts include that they actually buy followers for the talent. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's just in one of those.
That's interesting. I would be curious to run a social on Lena Dunham to see how many of her fans are purchased. That's a good point. Okay, so this is Dunham. I've gotten used to the idea that there are times when my body's not going to work for me, and the only thing I'm going to have is books and writing and my relationship to my work and making art. Really? Because she keeps talking about her body.
And your $1 million. You have that too.
And I know this is like, again, I don't mean to come off so mean, but like, why would you wear this if you are like worried about body image? Why would you be like, I'm going to squeeze myself into something that looks like 5 handkerchiefs buttoned together?
I think this is shirt, but that's the back.
And this is the best she could look. Like, this is her with a stylist, wardrobe, Photoshop, lighting,
black and white photo. Yeah, they're like, let's remove all the color. That's when you're not looking great. When they're like, you know what, let's take out all the color and make this more of an artistic.
Just gonna soften it up.
Is this a tattoo of a kazoo on her tit that says "cry"?
I thought it was a submarine.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was a kayak.
I thought it was a
hanger. It looked like a hanger.
This tattoo artist just gave up mid-tattoo. It looks like the tattoo artist couldn't bear to like look at her.
Is that like half of the state of Idaho? Like, what is that?
It's just like a sticker book.
It really is. She looks like a middle school desk. It's just covered with random doodles. And I don't understand, like, I know maybe Rihanna started this trend of like the under titty tattoo, but I think this looks good on almost no one.
No.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I ran the Twitter audit thing for Lena Dunham.
How quick!
And it says 4.1 million approximately are real, so 77%, and then 1.2 million approximately are fake. So it's giving her a good rating.
That's good.
Wow.
Mostly real.
I don't know how accurate those websites are, though. Like, I don't know. But,
yeah, interesting. I would
It's
think
probably from when Girls was still on, was when she got the following.
You know, I don't think you need to be a stick figure to be, you know, but you could have chosen a more flattering outfit for your figure.
Thank you. As a mother, I mean, I'm not a mother, but if I was going to be a mother to Lena, I would be like, honey, you're beautiful, but this dress doesn't do anything for you. That's what a friend should say to her.
That was my grandmother at every holiday. She's like, you look nice, but you'd look nicer if you lost 20 pounds.
Right. I mean, like, I shouldn't talk.
Also, what is that pose? She's like slumped, and like the angle just makes her look rounder. Like that
what we call
downward shot of her.
If you were going to compare her to a Rubenesque figure of medieval times or the Renaissance era, this is contrapposto posing. I do this. It's to make your legs look thinner.
Yeah, it's like, is it bad posing or is she just fat?
I think it's D, all of the above. Frank has put in the private chat Lena's social blade. Aha! And let's see. This will be proof that she is continually losing followers. I don't mean to like beat a dead horse. Like, oh, I don't like her. But it's exactly Blaire's point that this is somebody that the industry, that Hollywood keeps propping up and demands that we all have. Look at this hemorrhaging followers. This is her Twitter here. Yeah. Twitter daily stats. I wonder if she's got like the expensive bots that make it look like a lot of them are real people when maybe it's just like a follower farm in India somewhere. That's like real computers following her. But look at this. She's losing about 100 followers a day. Yikes.
Wow.
This is a lot. The red numbers are all what she's losing, and then like the plus green is what she's gaining. Last 30 days, she's lost over 4,000 followers on Twitter.
I guess I just don't understand, like, even more than that, like, what she's bitching about. Like, she's mad that people found it grotesque that she wrote about molesting her sister or whatever. Like, why would you say that then?
It's also a normal response to hearing that. You'd be like, ooh, I'd rather not. April 2020, pandemic finally set in. This is very long and possibly boring. So let's just get through this. This is like this whole story. It's like, I don't know. I kind of have no sympathy for someone who it appears has had everything handed to them, from rich parents to loads of opportunities to like ultimate creative freedom. Like, she hasn't had to like work a day job. She's not like in between making fraps, I submitted this script. It's like, no, she's got nothing to do other than not look like this and pursue her art. Let's see. She has a Mexican hairless pug named oh, come on. Once you're getting into the rescue dog.
This is her entire life in one article.
Yeah.
I don't.
And yet it's so fucking painfully boring.
Yeah. She passed the early days of the pandemic. Of course. How else would you spend the pandemic days other than gorging yourself on a certain type of movie, mostly from the 1970s? Oh, this is so like self sort of masturbatory. Lord.
I feel bad for the person who had to write this. Imagine what it feels like to have to make something so boring sound interesting.
I think she wrote it herself.
Oh, really? But it's in like third person, isn't it?
She would write it in third person, though, to be fair.
They're like, you can just take the lead on this and we'll circle back when you're
Seth Abramovich
finished.
All right, so maybe she's blowing Seth Abramovich. I don't know.
Abramovich. Interesting.
Yeah, she's one of those people that, like, even the most lived out people that I know, I've never heard anyone be like, yeah, like, I love Lena Dunham. Lena Dunham's that girl. Like, just never.
Yeah. My dad called it a sexual fable. Ugh. She says of her new film, which stars Christine Froseth as Sarah Jo, loses her virginity. I'm trying to understand. Oh, it was about trying to understand the impact of my hysterectomy. It was about processing my life. I feel like she's like, let me get this major surgery so I have something to talk about. And then obviously it became about the characters. Dunham plays Bernthal's harried 9 months pregnant wife on film. Oh, maybe that explains all the weight gain, because she had to look like she was 9 months pregnant.
They have fake stomachs for that.
That's true. Like she's like, no, I'm really gonna sink my teeth into this role. Oh, this is so boring. I'm so sorry, girls. There are many greater
How many
tragedies.
pages is this?
I know this is longer than I realized. Many greater tragedies than me not getting to see my movie premiere, says Dunham. Again, look at this. She's wearing a tarp. This is she's wearing a picnic tape. This is a picnic cover blanket.
Florals and 2 different plaids.
And again, they have to go black and white because they're like, she's like, this is the only thing that fits me of the whole rack.
She looks like a kid that just came out of her mom's closet.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are many.
Does it have anything in there of how she tried to kiss Brad Pitt on the red carpet? Yeah, so when they were doing the premiere for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it's so awkward if you watch the video. She's like grasping onto Brad and like trying to kiss him, and he's like just awkwardly turning away from her.
Oh no.
That's so vile. And imagine if it was the other way around. It was like some gross fat dude trying to kiss on like, I don't know, like Angelina Jolie or something. Like
even if it was an even grosser, even fatter dude than Lena Dunham, she would be repulsed. She couldn't have like ran away fast enough.
Yeah.
Oh, she talked about how her cast couldn't see the movie premiere. I was so excited for to get them together. We did it on such a small scale. Everyone really brought something to it. It was such a harkening back to how I started. We're planning a Zoom party. I guess people zoomed into my wedding and they'll zoom into my premiere. Everything is very
married.
And she had a Zoom wedding. What a stupid bitch.
I look back and just like the sheer gall of me stepping into the first day of the set, 24-year-old me standing in Silver Cup Studios and the old Sex and the City studios going, let's do this. I'm proud of myself.
For like getting on set in the morning? Like,
oh wow, this must have been her girls' days. Back when she had a girlish figure. Wow, I don't know. I mean, we're not all going to look the same forever, but I feel like that with like she might also be on a bunch of pharmaceuticals that are making her kind of like bloat out a little bit. I just don't know what's going to. I'm not going to be interested in her. It's like, oh look, I can show a nipple. That's how brave. She looks like a lady sitting next to Forrest Gump on a park bench waiting for the bus.
She's like a young Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello. Yes.
If this was the highlight reel of my life, I'd probably eat my feelings too.
I wish I could read this.
Apparently, the writer of this article or a piece or whatever is a famous one that's been doing it a while and like wrote about a bunch of famous people all the time. So like, how is he this experienced and he can't even manage to make this appealing?
I don't know.
Like
if
it's over
soul
for her.
Probably died.
I'm like, is it my ADD unable to read through this article and like find something that's interesting? But it's just, again, like this really is her whole life.
I can't believe it's still going.
Yeah,
it's still going.
It's still going. Sharp Stick. Does anybody want to see Sharp Stick at this point? Oh, this is from Sharp Stick. Oh, I'm like, this is interesting because she's not in the frame. It's about processing life.
It's the best part of the article. It's the only picture without her in it.
And I just feel like we all go through hardship, but she talks about it like she's the only one in the world who goes through anything. There are things I said in my 20s and 30s that I apologize for because I knew they came from a place of ignorance and lack of awareness. It's just like, just shut up already. Like, just create, do good work. If it's good, you'll be recognized for it.
I like how she says it past tense, like she thinks that she has awareness now.
Oh,
she still lacks awareness.
Is this a recent photo? Oh dear God.
That's her and her husband.
This is September. This is September, guys. Oh, something's wrong with her.
How is it this long?
This poor girl. She's not wearing a bra. First of all, if I were her size, I would invest heavily into some shapewear. I would put as many Skims on my body as I could possibly pull up. Poor thing. I feel like this is like not a well person.
It looks like a curtain.
It is a curtain. This purse wants out, you know? All right, let's see. Is there anything else interesting? Oh, here she is in the tarp. Lena renewed on the cover of the Hollywood Reporter. They're really pushing her. They're like, if you could just cover yourself in this tarp a little bit more. Yes, darling. Beautiful, beautiful.
Her and
All right.
shower
Oh, it's
curtains.
over.
It's over. I'm so wow. That was horrible. I feel like that one article was 500 hours.
That was a really long article.
It was too. I'm gonna pivot to a different girl who maybe we have more patience for. Let's see. This came out. This is from Bella Hadid. She posted, I guess, a bunch of Twitter's photos came out on Twitter of her just posting it. You know, we all post photos. I don't know if you girls have ever posted an unmakeup photo of yourself, like no makeup but crying and sad. So this is Bella Hadid speaking out about the never-ending effect of pain and stress that alcohol gave her. This is a new interview with InStyle. Bella Hadid spoke about why she decided to stop drinking alcohol. She gave it up 6 months ago. She made headlines after getting a DUI when she was 17. Again, when you're like rich and you come from money, it's like getting a DUI is like the most interesting thing about you.
Mm-hmm.
I've done my fair share of drinking. I loved alcohol. Got to the point where I even started to, cancel nights out that I felt like I wouldn't be able to control myself. I don't know if this sounds like I have no patience or sympathy for alcoholics. I want to bring up the tweets, the images of her like crying, because I was like, oof. There's something strange about like a woman who's like, oh, I'm gonna post photos of me like looking my absolute worst, like, or maybe that's just a cry for help.
Oh, if they're crying specifically, then that's attention asking, I think, because it's like, why else would you post other than like, oh, people are gonna feel bad for me and like I'm stressed. So
yeah,
it's narcissism for sure.
Yeah.
One thing I noted that she did say was, she's like, I was tired of waking up in the morning with anxiety about what I said or what I did the night before. And like, I get that way too. Like if I, over imbibe, but the next morning I wake up and I'm like, did I tweet something? Did I pick a fight? Like, what did I do? And I definitely like get that part about waking up and just being like, oh, wow.
Why does she have so many photos of herself crying? Is this a hobby for her?
I'd be anxious about those photos for sure.
Eek. These type of things always like make me, I do agree with like attention. It's more of attention grabbing, because if you're truly like feeling like that, I guess I try to understand like her platform. So maybe she wants to bring awareness to it and I get it, but it just always seems so, honestly, I feel like it makes me look at them the complete opposite. Like it's so disingenuous, in which if you're that upset and crying, like why would you be stopping to, oh, I should post this on my story,
Can you go back to the other one?
Oh, this one?
She posted that one. She posted that one because she was like, yeah, my eyes look good in this photo. Like, my eyes look extra green here.
Is she smizing a little bit of smizing here? Yeah.
Like, she took a few before she picked the right one, which is how it's fake ass shit.
And like we saw Chrissy Teigen do something like this, like her abortion photo shoot, where
that was even worse. That was like disgusting.
Like, why do celebrities? I think it's like their lives are so good that they're like, oh, this will make me and this will endear me to the peasants. Yeah,
like they want to be relatable and come back down, but I don't know. I feel like it does the exact opposite. Like she'd have been better off recording like a video of her live crying, like talking about her anxiety or something. To me, has like more value than just sitting there with a picture.
Yeah, because what she's saying is real. Alcohol is really an issue for a lot of people. I don't really relate to that because when I drink, I get actually very loving. Like I'm a bitch sober and I'm really happy drunk. But I know people that like alcohol has ruined their fucking life, so it's real, but also it's fake because, she took like 17, picked the prettiest one.
What's your drink of choice?
Since moving to Texas, probably whiskey.
Ooh,
what kind?
It's very Texas.
Probably just Jameson. I don't know. I just drink whiskey sodas now, but I don't drink a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's because my dad was a functional alcoholic, still is. So I'm just like, oh, you can't handle your alcohol. Still.
Is your dad Irish?
No, German.
Oh, really?
He's German.
They have the good beers. Does he like beer?
He loves beer. I grew up seeing a lot of Heineken bottles around, and then around college, I started seeing a lot of Beck's bottles around. So, and then I know he can do like a Budweiser if Billy's over, his buddy Billy. I'm gonna go to a couple of soups. From Kingdom of Devils. She was art, and she was not painted by accident. Every stroke of her beauty, imperfectly perfect, was created with purpose. Oh, maybe this is for the wrong. This is for a different show. Are we talking about Lena?
I think that's
Dunham
a
here?
song.
I think it was about Lena.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, someone out there for everyone, I guess.
That's true. I think I'm coming off bitchier than I would like.
I thought
I'm gonna
that was a
turn it
shit
around.
post. I thought they were like making fun of her and her pretentiousness
Yeah.
of being an artist and so deep.
Yeah. From my only Asian fan, Young Pei Chang. Hi, Chrissie. Hi, Blaire. Hi, guys. Hi.
Hi.
I love Young Peng. J.S. Pena. Hey, Chrissie. A future guest I recommend is Alaina Hicks, a.k.a. Bonnie Rotten. Oh, I've heard of her.
Mhm.
I think I tried to get her on Wet Spot. But yeah, we can take another stab. From Elsid Barrett. Hail, Chrissie. Hello, Anna and Brittany. Great guests. Stuck at work, but we'll try to pop in here and there. Ooh, I want to know what you do for a job now. Tyler B. Shout out to my fellow Albertans. Oh, are there Canadians here? Thanks,
Maybe
Tyler.
in the chat.
It's always good when you can hear a lid falling.
Yeah, my cat knocked it over.
Cooking with Ruthie found this postcast and love it because that Star Wars girl Anna posters it on Twitter. Love her. Love you on FNT. Thanks.
She uses voice text all the time, so it probably picks it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That explains it. That explains it. Niz, quick. Money for the singing lessons. That karaoke last night was dreadful. What? Who was singing last night?
I was.
What were you singing?
I was singing. We were doing karaoke because our friend flew in from New York. So there's 5 of us, and we sang like some weeby songs, like Evangelion opening, and then like I sang Barbie Girl because I sing that every karaoke
Good one.
because it's the Bimbo national anthem.
Mhm.
And they started singing like NSYNC songs and Linkin Park, the boys. So
Oh, that's so easy. I tried so hard and got to... You just have to like channel your man anger. There's so many guys that sing that song.
yeah,
I like to do At Last by Etta James or Black Velvet by what's her name? Alana Miles, I think. From Say Sorry OJPN, Foreskin Frost Karen / Machine Gun Karen / whatever her name is from G4 TV. Can't stop shooting her mouth off online. Hope G4 TV fires her for the bad PR. I don't know if you girls heard about this or saw this. This was a girl that was she's like a gamer. She reads off like gaming reviews on this channel called G4 TV, and she I guess this was last week, was doing a review of Red Dead Redemption, but then was like, oh, but by the way, I want to talk about sexism in gaming. And it was like, we talked about it last SimpCast, and I feel like it kind of backfired on her. And I feel like at the end of the day, like when you're like one of a few girls in kind of like a mostly male space, you either have to be okay with people like verbalizing, oh, I find you attractive, I don't find you attractive, or just like embrace it or be like, fuck off. But I don't know, I feel like she didn't handle
And
it.
it's like, even just like, not even just being a girl or being a guy or whatever, just being on the internet, if you can't take what people have to say to you, it's not the place for you. It just simply isn't. So
Yeah.
the fact that she's even in that position and has the nerve to say the people in the chat are sexualizing me, welcome to the fucking internet. Like, even ugly people get sexualized on the internet. Like, there are people that want to fuck Nikocado Avocado. He has an OnlyFans. Like,
Oh god.
and he's the top 1%.
I don't understand why he has so many subscribers and followers.
well, I've seen his OnlyFans.
And there's women there too.
Yeah.
In the
I
comments.
reacted to his OnlyFans in a video, and it's probably it's like the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh God.
I don't understand.
It's beyond anything you can dream. It's 20 times worse.
It's crazy. From Bobby Bob, but when I get new boobs, it's weird. Insane double standards. Aw, would love to see your new boobs, Bob. Boob, boob, boob.
Sorry, Bob. I won't judge you for getting new boobs.
So Amy, what let's talk about your new boobs. What are your plans for them? Are you gonna like take them for like a first time to the park, or like what's your plan?
They've been to the grocery store. That's about it. I'm still like recovering. It's only been 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna have an unveiling on my OnlyFans.
Ooh. You know what you're gonna do yet?
No. I have a couple ideas. We'll see.
Maybe like you're at a supermarket and then there's like your boyfriend is checking the melons to make sure they're okay.
OnlyFans frowns on public stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can't do any like Impractical Joker-esque type content?
You can do anything as long as it's not nude in public. They don't want anyone like accidentally seeing you.
Yeah.
Can you go to like the beach and like take pictures at the beach, like in your bikini?
For your private.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, in your bikini, or you could do stuff like in your backyard. But there's certain things that they like don't allow in public in case a child might see you or something, or an unsuspecting passerby.
I think it's supposed to be like if it's illegal in that jurisdiction, then you shouldn't do it, because some places I guess you can, public nude beaches and such, but they don't want the legal risk of like that they're enabling or that they somehow facilitated public indecency.
Yeah.
What if you're in like San
heard some
Francisco or
campsites.
like a city that's very open?
Yeah, if it's okay with where you're at, which is funny because how would they ever know? You could just say, "Oh yeah, this is my favorite beach." I think they're okay with you lying like that. That isn't, it's just the legal risk for them in general. That's where I think it comes from.
True. I remember the only time I went to a nude beach, it was like with an ex-boyfriend and unfortunately Ibiza, and and I was just laying down and then I heard like and I turned around and I was like, "Oh no!" The guy just like right behind the fence. Like I was both startled and then I was like, "Is this a compliment? Is this? I guess I look pretty good."
I used to lifeguard at a nude beach.
What? Oh, right. That's right, Amy. Did you ever have to save someone who's nude? Did you also have to be nude?
I did not have to be nude.
Okay.
I went to a nude beach recently, and I went with two gay male friends, and they ended up ditching me because they heard there was like a gay part of the beach where everyone was gay, and I didn't want to walk over there, and I was kind of intoxicated. So I was laying out by myself. I was not naked at all, by the way. I was actually wearing a pretty not revealing bikini. But I was laying there. I kind of like fell asleep a little bit, and I woke up to a man with a rock hard boner standing over me, asking me if my boobs were real.
Oh my God.
I kind of like came to and I was like, "Please stop." I literally just said, "Please stop." And he's like, "Do you want to go for a walk with me?" And I was like, "I need to fucking stop." And immediately,
oh my God.
Within like maybe a 60-second to 2-minute time limit, this couple walks by and they're like yelling at him, like, "Get the fuck away from her," because you're not supposed to do that at a nude beach.
No.
You're not supposed to like be hard and like walk around with a bun. It's like fucked up.
When was this? Did you say when did this happen?
This was like late. It was like right before the lockdown. So right before the pandemic.
Wow.
So I was so mad at my friends for leaving me. I was like, "You guys leave me," and then some fucker with a boner comes up. But anyways.
Or would you go again?
No. I went for them and I was like, clearly I'm never fucking going.
Was it at least a nice beach? Like
No, it was dirty.
pretty?
It was San Diego. It was nasty.
It was probably where I lifeguarded.
Everything about it was just traumatizing.
Was the guy like old or?
No, he was like younger than me. He was like 21, 22. I'm like, what are you go anywhere else with that? Like, why are you here?
Sometimes they have too much confidence.
Yeah.
See, I feel like, as much as I want the pandemic to end, I feel like as the first summer after this over, like everyone better watch out because everyone's going to be horned up. There's going to be a lot of pent up jizz. There's going to be a lot of, I think, this kind of situation happening at beaches everywhere. I just feel like it's going to be, everyone better be careful.
Yeah.
I'm calling it right now. I feel like molestation's going to be up the summer after the pandemic's over. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. I wanted to bring this up before. I don't know if any of you gals have ever had a therapist, but this literally just happened. So I'm going to tell this story of something that happened with me and my therapist. And I want you to tell me if you think this person is politically not wanting, like not into me, like there's a political issue here, or if it sounds like they're after money. Like, I'm gonna read this to you and then just tell me what you think. Okay. Also, I'm hearing a little bit of background noise. I'm not sure who that's coming from, but I hear what
it sounds
clinking.
like someone's fighting.
Oh, is it Amy? Is it coming from Amy? I hear clinking of glasses, which makes me
It's probably Dan.
It makes me wish I was at a bar. Dan is constantly making noise.
He's always
Cat.
drinking.
He's like,
I don't know what he's cursing in the kitchen. He dropped something, I think.
Oh, hi, Dan. Okay, here we go. So I was seeing a therapist. I started seeing a therapist. Background. My mom was diagnosed with cancer in like 2015, and I started seeing a therapist, I think, Frank, 2016, 2017, maybe it was 2016 or something like that. So so it might have been 2015, 2016. I saw her for years. I would see her at least once a week, sometimes twice. I was like a very good customer. I would go all the time. And then I feel like a therapist doesn't really say, congratulations. Like, and I've only seen this one, so who knows how other therapists do it. But they don't really say, congrats, you've graduated therapy. Go on, live your life. Stop coming back. You know, there was no kind of like end in sight. And then I argued, like she said, she was raising her prices, and then she said, oh, I know a couple who makes less than you and they can afford it, and which turned me off. So I was like, it was a couple of things, and then so we stopped talking. I stopped going like 6 months ago in July, late July. So I just get a message from her yesterday. It says, Chrissie, just checking in. Few things. I'm working in person, and she gives her address in the city, like the office that she's operating out of. If it's the political stuff that is keeping you from coming back, you need to know. Oh, and I also got the feeling that, like, I told her I voted for Trump, and she started to be a little bit weirder to me, and that was part of the reason why I stopped going. So she said, if it's the political stuff that is keeping you from coming back, you need to know that I'm not political. I'm going to mute you, Amy, just while I read this because I'm worried about the background noise. Okay. If it's the political stuff that is keeping you from coming back, you need to know that I'm not political. And as long as you didn't take a gun into the Capitol, I don't care. If things are fine, good. If not, why don't you give me a call? And then her name, I'll just call her Karen. So I think that
she just wants your money. Is basically what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
First of all, like out of nowhere, bringing up, as long as you didn't take a gun into the Capitol. I was like, say what? I haven't heard from you in 6 months. So I write back, hey, Karen, hope you are well. I'm doing
Karen,
great.
of course her name's Karen.
I mean, it's not her name. I'm trying not to like doctor because I don't know how many people with her name or therapists in New York City. I said, hope you're well. I'm doing great. I said, I'm not really in New York City too often these days, only on Mondays to do my radio show. And I said, I don't think anyone brought a gun into the Capitol building. I think I also mentioned I didn't go inside. I only covered the rally and did interviews. Hope your cat is doing well because the cat was sick. I don't know. I'm just trying to honestly, land this plane. And then, because I just think it's so fucking weird that she brought that up. And then she responds with, I didn't mean to say that anyone brought a gun inside or that you went inside. You told me you didn't go inside. I was trying to convey that what you do is not my concern unless you were planning to kill anyone, which I didn't think you were. I'm just there to help you deal with things that get in your way of getting what you want. I'm glad your career is doing well. Is your relationship doing well too? If you change your mind, I have an office address on Monday and Tuesday. So to me, that is so fucking weird that she brought up the Capitol at all, and the gun thing is even weirder.
People need to understand that so many therapists are fucking charlatans. Like, people, I feel like, just have this natural trust. Not everyone. Some people are very skeptical of therapists, but a lot of people go into like any therapist and assume that this person is some sort of guru or shaman, like that's really there to like heal them. And it's like, first of all, they want your money. And second of all, the majority of them are fucking crazy themselves, in my experience.
Mm-hmm.
She did have a cat.
Yeah. Hey, watch it.
No judges on cat owners. It's fine to have a cat. All right, I am good. Sorry. I'm like, I don't want to mute Amy, but
I went to a therapist once.
Noisy.
I went to a therapist once with a boyfriend because we were having troubles at the time. And she made it way fucking worse. Like, we fought in that office way more than we ever did at home. Like, I feel like therapy's it's never been positive for me. I've never gone and like walked away from it feeling like a better person.
Yeah, I feel like therapy as a whole, especially couples therapy, is like, I don't know, aimed, or maybe something about it is attractive to women because it's like, oh, we like to talk, let's talk things out. But that's interesting that you picked up that you actually fought more in the therapist's office.
Not everything has to be talked about. Like, there is a time and place to like talk about your feelings and things you may have been holding in, and you don't want things building up and exploding. But like, I found that in the therapist's office, I was talking about things that I would have not cared about 2 weeks from that time. Like, they just push you to talk about anything and everything just to fill that hour and get your money.
I was definitely getting the feeling, especially when she said she was raising her price, and then I was like, I think what was her new price? Was it going to be $80 an hour? 70? 80, and it was over Zoom. She'd never lowered her prices from in-person pre-pandemic to pandemic Zoom therapy.
That's so stupid. And I'm sorry, $80 an hour is actually mind-numbing. Like, I'll talk to anyone else. I could go talk to like a homeless person on the street.
And so much.
$20.
Yeah.
And I think a portion I think a portion of it was being covered by my insurance at the time. Like I think maybe I was like co-paying her, like, I don't know.
That's what it went down to.
It went down to 40 and then 80. Yeah, it was okay. After insurance, I was then gonna have to start paying her 80, which is like which is just too much. I don't know.
No.
And how do you know you're done with therapy? If I hadn't had that little kind of tiff with her, I probably would have still been seeing her because I'm like anti-conflict. I'm like, I always have stuff to talk about, I guess. And it was the politics thing, it was the money thing that just made me go like, ew.
That was an incredibly awkward email.
Yeah, and that's rude as fuck. It's rude as fuck to be like, I know someone poorer than you that can afford it. It's like,
yeah, who the fuck says that?
That's a terrible
somebody that
salesperson.
wants your money. Somebody that wants your money and doesn't care about you.
Well, they don't like know your financial situation. Just who like?
I think she did. I think she did know because I was seeing her at the time. She was helping me like try to negotiate, like, because that's the thing. I feel like she used the knowledge of me against me because one of the issues I talked about in therapy was like, I'm not getting a raise at work. I just need the guts to ask for a raise. So then I told her like what I was making, and she's like, oh, you deserve to make XYZ. Like at the time I was like this, executive assistant for a high profile person. Oh, you should be making this much more. And we kind of talked about how I can ask for, so she knew exactly what I was making. And I feel like she later used that information against me by saying like, oh, I know this couple who makes less and they can pay it. And I was like, ew, first of all, you don't know like what all my expenses are, how those expenses change over time.
Also confidentiality, like why is she randomly throwing her patient's information there?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's already hard enough as it is to go to therapy to motivate people to go and actually talk about their problems and fix them. And then she's going to go and politicize it and make it uncomfortable. She's a terrible therapist, in my opinion. No offense, Chrissie.
Yeah. No, it feels good. Like I feel better about kind of putting her on the fade now, especially like I've been seeing this woman like once a week, sometimes twice a week for a few years. Why would she even, doesn't she know me pretty well at this point? Why would she even say, oh, as long as you didn't bring a gun into the Capitol? It's like, girl, don't you know me at all? Like, don't you know me well enough to know I would never do that? It's just a little.
And even if you did, hello, I need therapy. Like, we still need to talk. Like, you're not a very good salesperson.
Like, I'll help you with your problems, but not if you have those kind of problems. Like,
yeah,
that's above my
pay grade.
Doesn't
make very much sense.
I remember
if anything, that would get her more sessions with you because you have a problem in her opinion, so she can make even more money off of you. You know,
when I first started seeing her, I was like, out of curiosity, I was like, "Ooh, is there anybody like you wouldn't see?" And she said, "Pedos," and I was like, "That I fully agree with. I guess right? There's certain people," and she also said she would never be a therapist to Trump. That should have been the first sign.
Yeah,
of bias.
Like, girl, he would never hire you. So what are you worried
about? Well, did she specify like narcissism or something like that, like personality types like that? Maybe. Like she just doesn't specialize in that, so she can't talk to people like that. Like pedophiles, it would be pretty hard for a therapist to kind of relate to them. I think, like most humans.
That's
Right.
not going to work
But-
once a week therapy. They need a little more than once
Yeah.
a week.
That would require some
Like you have to
special-
be a special type of therapist to be able to talk to those kind of people.
Which I totally understood because her office was near a playground. And I'd be like, oh, yeah. I mean, like, on one hand, you might get a lot of business. On the other hand, you know, they're tempting themselves
Oh.
every time. So,
I would just want to say, I know that you guys said you don't like therapy, and I agree. There's definitely like the therapy question of like them trying to fleece you for your money, especially if it's like after like maybe 2 months and your problems aren't solved or whatever, or at least like getting worked on. But in my opinion, for me, I was in and out of therapy since I've been like 5 years old. And I like being able to like complain at someone for an hour straight. Like I love just like nagging someone for an hour straight.
it was good to vent. Sometimes it really felt good. But then it was like years later and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm working on a couple of the same things. So, and then there
I
were
guess
times that she
when-
would feel like a friend sometimes. I would be like, so how is your cat? Like I would start therapy sessions with me asking about her freaking cat. Oh, how's your son? Is he back from pilot camp or whatever?
I guess for me, if I like am to open up about my problems, it has to be with someone that I really respect. So like I'll seek out a friend of mine that's maybe a little older that I really respect the way their life turned out. Like it's hard for me to jump into like, oh, this is a woman named Mary Sue and her job is to talk to me, and like I just don't trust it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she actually help you for the thing that you went in for?
I went in. She did help me a little bit unpack like my mom. I went in thinking I had daddy issues. Turns out I had mom and dad issues. So she did kind of help me like unpack.
She gave you more
that.
problems.
Right, I know. She's picking off my old scabs. Yeah. She did help me a little bit. Like she helped me understand like the patterns that I got because of how I was raised and like why I am the way I am, like why was kind of raised to be conflict averse. Like we all were kind of tiptoeing around my dad's anger and like why I have trouble standing up for myself because I never saw my mom standing up for herself, like blah blah blah. Like never heard her say like don't talk to me that way. So it did help in some. I think we probably should have cut it off at some point, like, you know, but what is she gonna say goodbye to like a good customer? So then I felt a little
Yes.
bit taken
Stop
advantage of.
giving me money. Go away.
Yeah.
And I helped take headshots for her. Like, but one day she was like, "Oh, I don't have any good photos of me," and we went to Central Park. She's like, "You know what? I won't charge you for one session." And I took headshots of her in Central Park. Like she used them for both Psychology Today. And she said she used them for her Match.com profile. So I like really helped this lady out.
Yeah.
Is that okay
That
to
just
have that
takes the
person of a
cake.
relationship?
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
like real intimate.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, because I take good photos and I'm a comedian. I see a lot of headshots. And I just was like, it was cold. It was like February. And it was so weird. It did feel like, I don't know, like the ant from Napoleon Dynamite trying to like get back out there. That was the vibe she was giving me. Like, she's like, oh, I brought flowers. Should I pose with these flowers? And I was like, oh, honey, no.
Your chance she's watching right now.
No, there's no chance she's
Oh,
watching.
okay.
Well,
That's what you think.
there's always a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Where I guess
Like, does
if
she know
is
your
watching-
channel?
It's a good question. I don't think she subscribes. I don't know. Anyway, if you are watching, I guess then you have your answer.
Yeah.
I won't be back next week.
She's gonna text me and be like, I see you got a couple super chats. You sure you don't want to come back?
Oh
Lord.
no.
It's so crazy though. It just feels like a big mental jump going from like, oh, I need this therapist to like get through my life to be like, oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay, like figuring things out for myself. So I guess that's the lesson. I don't know, guys. You guys are my
But
new
also get a
therapist.
new therapist.
Yeah. I have to get
No,
a new one.
Chrissy, you have commitment issues. You can't even commit to your therapist. Now you have to go for 10 more sessions to solve that problem.
I committed to her for years. Oh my God, what is Dan doing?
I can't. I can't. I don't even know at this
I don't mean
point.
to shit on you too much. Okay, from Morgan Babcock. Chrissy, I didn't think your frostbite could get better until it was made into a song. That shit killed me. Maybe I can try to get that song and play it. It was freaking funny. Perry Chan, who is one of the people who works for Gary with Friday Night Taste. He cut together like I did an impression of this Frosk girl. And he cut it into a really funny song. Young Pei Chang. Hey, Chrissie, I finally got to catch up and watch your Frosk bit. I laughed so hard I cried, which hasn't happened in a hot minute. Good soup. Thanks. Thanks, Young Pei. Oh, Russell Hall, your favorite, Anna. How does Blaire feel about men with no eyebrows?
I mean, do they have cancer or is this like an aesthetic choice? Like, I guess it depends.
Yeah.
Like he just can't grow them. Like just very thin, you know. And blonde.
That's strange. I don't think
Does
I'd
he
like
have hair elsewhere? Does he have alopecia?
Try to tattoo
No.
those puppies in.
Wait, are we
No,
talking
thank
about someone specific or is this like,
Yes. It's just
man,
a
yeah,
joke.
oh,
I like that Blaire's like, I am really, that's how I would answer it too. I'd be like, let me see a picture. Because I don't know if he's rich enough. I could forego eyebrows, I guess.
yeah, but
You can tattoo them on. You can pencil them in.
He's a very talented comic book artist that's a very big fan of Brittany and
Ooh.
Blaire.
I would like to see his work. From Morgan Babcock, I've had
You have?
3 30-day I have?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wait,
now
what?
I sound dumb. I've had 3 30-day bans of Facebook for fat shaming on articles written about Lizzo. Oh, no.
Worth.
That's worth it. Nesquick. I'm very disappointed with your coverage of Lena Dunham. My Fupa Queen does not deserve this kind of slander. He's twice the woman you are. Oh, man. All right, we got
Fupa
Lena Dunham
Queen.
fans in the chat.
Have Lena Dunham on. Let's have her on SimpCast.
Okay. And each of her chins can get their own square. Ooh, from Archangel. Thank you for the $50. Got the Rona, so I'm stuck at home. Here's my gas money. Archangel, do you have Omicron? If you do, I think it's gonna be okay.
$50
had
of gas
Omicron. I
money.
wasn't
Where are they
sure.
driving?
Well, gas is like almost up to $4 here in New York.
yeah, it depends. where
It's
you
still
live.
under 3. Oh my god, it's almost to 5 where I live.
Really? Oh, you're in California.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In
it's
California,
depressing.
when I lived there, it cost me, I think, $75 to fill up my tank. And here, it's like 40, 41 bucks here.
Oh my.
That's crazy.
Lucky.
Did you guys listen to / are any of you familiar with the podcast Call Her Daddy?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like it started out with
number one podcast.
it was
of-
2 girls. It was Sophia Franklin and Alexandra Cooper, and then they had a very big dramatic falling out for reasons I can't remember, maybe like a year or 2 ago, and now it's just Alexandra Cooper. And I was going to bring up this article because I'm like, oh, this is a fun SimpCast topic, and then I'm reading through it and I'm like, oh my god, this girl is the other half of Call Her Daddy. This is Sophia Franklin. So this is so interesting. Woman, like we don't all know this is
Oh
her.
my god. That's
Woman
like
sends herself drinks from admirers on first dates to show she has options. Sophia Franklin shared a TikTok video in which she explains her top tip for a first date to make sure she hooks her suitor in is to keep his interest. A woman has revealed. It's just so funny the way, like, once I saw that this was her, I'm like, oh, this is of course this is like a publicity stunt, or
pretty
she knows
recognizable face too. I mean, people know who she is. It is funny that they say woman.
It is funny.
It's probably one of them paid, like, those paid articles that people will get for PR.
Really interesting. A woman has revealed her top tip on a first date that ensures she keeps her man's attention is by buying a drink for herself. Social media star, oh, here it comes. Sophia Franklin shared a video on TikTok, which she captioned, "Men love some healthy competition." In the video, she explained her first date trick, which makes him think she has other options. The plan is to trick the date into thinking another man has spotted her in the bar and sent her a drink to win her affections. Lab Bible, I think it's actually Lad Bible with a D. Spelling error. Fact checked. Sorry, Mirror. Oh, this is a UK thing. Reports she wrote, "When I go to the quote the bathroom and pay the bartender to send me a quote anonymous shot so my date remembers I have options." I mean, she's hot. I don't know that she
Yeah, there's no man that's going to be on a date with her that is like, oh, this bitch is clearly desperate for some dick. Like,
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a trick from like Sex in the City. Like, I feel like they did this in one of the episodes. Like, I think Samantha does this.
This seems like a Samantha move for sure.
But when a bartender brings you a drink, they say, "Oh, compliments of the gentleman across the bar." Like, this is not gonna be like no one's gonna send an anonymous drink. Like, what's the point of that?
It's from your secret.
Well, why would
just
you
take all my
that?
money? Here you go. Like,
if this is real and not just, some shit for an article, I think it just goes to show that no matter how pretty you are or how successful, whatever, you're still gonna have insecurities, because this to me reeks of insecurity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. If I did it, I wouldn't do it out of insecurity. I would do it just because I think it's funny and a good opportunity to troll. Like, this is like toxic TikTok stuff. I love toxic GF TikTok. It's so entertaining to me. So it would just be amusing to me to like get their reaction. I think that'd be funny. But like, isn't she famous, by the way? Like, doesn't she already have thousands of followers?
Very famous.
Yeah. So wouldn't he already feel that competition? Like, she doesn't have to do that.
Exactly. You look at her followers, you go, oh, your DMs are literally 99% dick pics that you have to wade through with a snorkel.
Yeah. At this point, it's just like abusive.
It's a bit much, right?
She's buck breaking him.
In the comment section, Sophia admitted this isn't her only first date trick, explaining she has also sent herself flowers on 1 or 2 occasions. She added, "This can work in many situations. The world is your oyster, ladies." Since posting the video online, Sophia has racked up nearly 3 million views and hundreds of comments, with people suggesting they were taking her advice for the future. One TikToker said her idea was actually really smart, while others praised her for a queen move. Others took to the opportunity to confess they'd pulled similar stunts in the past, with one woman admitting she'd asked a man to come over to her table and tell her how pretty she was during the date. Another lucky woman said it had happened to her for real when someone genuinely sent her a drink, adding that their date was left shaking. I mean, if you're not planning it and that happens, that's one thing. However, others weren't convinced it was a great idea and thought it would be too embarrassing to ask a bartender to help in advance. Some people even branded her stunt toxic, but most people thought there was no shame in it at all. Several bartenders even said they would be more than happy to join in with the charade, bringing a drink over during a date if asked, because the bartender probably wants to fuck her.
Right. I was about to say, he's trying to get on her good side too.
Well, I'd say like the saving grace of this would be is if she's doing it to see how the guy will react, to kind of gauge what kind of guy he is. Like, is he going to throw a fucking temper tantrum in a public place because she got sent a drink? Like, she doesn't know. But I bet you that's not why she's doing it.
True. One TikTok user replied, "As a bartender, I love when women do shit like this, and I'm more than happy to do it." Another,
because they make more money.
This article just makes me glad I'm not dating. Like, all the games and fucking, oh my god,
there's so much games. You have to do games, I think, a little. I don't even know how to call them games, but you are kind of assessing quite a bit at the very beginning. Another joked that as long as there was a tip in it for them, they didn't say what kind of tip. They'd have no problem doing their bit. I don't think Sophia Franklin needs to do this.
I just feel like, isn't she probably the one already in the power seat when she's
right?
Like, I guess I don't get the point. Why not just go on the date? If you like them, you do. If you don't, you don't. Why can't we just keep it real? I guess I'm really glad I've been married since I was 18, because I think dating now is probably insane like this. I bet you both sides are probably always playing games. I couldn't even imagine dealing with that.
Well, it's obviously not working because she's still single, because she's still going out on dates and doing this.
And guess what? She just ruined it for herself, because now every guy who looks up her name is going to see that she does these tricks, and it's not going to work anymore.
Like, and some guys are actually going to send her a drink, and she's going to be, the guy's going to be like, what? That was real.
Right.
It's over for her.
Sophia Franklin. Unless she took us all for a ride, and this is all just like a story, and she's like, oh, I'll just blow this up into an article, and then people will look me up.
She probably did it once,
say that.
and now it's a story.
Yeah,
I'm
people
willing to-
actually do that all the time on TikTok. They always like do these like toxic GF tricks and they just say it as a shit post, but they don't actually do it. So I wouldn't doubt it that she doesn't actually do this.
Sophia with an F. Man, she only has 65 episodes. Sophia Franklin is back from the dead and is here to stay, bitches. Listen in as Sophia dives into the explicit details about sex, mental health, her personal life, and everything you don't want to talk about at the dinner table. No borders, no filters, removing taboos and virginities every Thursday. So this just sounds like an episode of her podcast. It's like a teaser. It's like a teaser article for people to look her up.
Well, she was kind of like, with Call Her Daddy, she kind of got, I don't know the exact of what happened. I know it was contract related stuff. Like, I think it was like with money and Barstool and such, but she kind of was like what are the other two girls from Destiny's Child? Like the other girl kind of is the Beyonce, and she kind of was like forgotten, and she was the other half of the show and was a part of making it really big. So I think she's probably really working hard to try to get herself back out there, because she kind of got left in the dust.
Yeah, it was a big dramatic kind of breakup, and I only paid attention to it because it was so similar to my friend's podcast. Krystyna Hutchinson and Corinne Fisher have a podcast called like Guys We Fucked, which I feel like came before Call Her Daddy, but I remember when I heard about that podcast, I'm like, oh, isn't that similar to what they do? Like, didn't they do it first? So maybe I'm a little bit like partial to like my friend's show, but
I think it's still like the number 1, number 2 spot podcast of all. I mean, she's doing incredibly well. I forget
she's like a billionaire.
Yeah, she's like getting legit interviews now. Like, it's insane.
So, right, if you're watching your podcast buddy like blow up and you got cut out of the deal and she's making a shit ton of money.
I think she signed like a $50 million deal. I think it was like $50 million, maybe 60. It's unreal what she's like basically turned into like a modern day little Diane Sawyer. Like she's just like
yeah. And if Alexandra kind of like did Sophia a little dirty, like if she got a little bit screwed, then maybe I am a little bit more on her side. Like, hey, maybe this is her being smart and doing what she needs to do to get attention, because she probably feels really competitive with her, honestly.
Well, and Sophia, I've seen her on a couple other podcasts, a couple of people that I know, actually. She's been on their podcast recently. So she's kind of been doing like a lot of press, like a big PR type stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that this story drops too. She's trying. You can't hate on the hustle.
I went from hating to now I have sympathy.
Right?
Have her on SimpCast.
I want to have her. Sophia, if you're listening.
Probably come on.
Yeah, I'm going to reach out. 200 Watt Studio just got here. Who's the yummy girl in the picture? Well, that could be any of us.
Lena Dunham was when that super chat came through.
I have to answer these quicker. Metroid, Shellboy, enjoy a cup of coffee. Cool show, y'all. Have a great night. Thank you. 200 Watt is back. Nothing wrong with that, Lena. Just needs a cup of Del Taco Inferno sauce to help the taste and good to go. Oh, you mean like you're going to put that on her to like go down? Ugh. Bullet Shepherd. Lena Dunham makes Frost urine look doable. I need to find, Frank, could you find that rap? Possibly the song that was recut. Okay. Demongenai. Hello, ladies in chat. Hope all is well on your end. My end is looking good. Cecil. Crying pictures are only good if mascara is running. True. But if you're crying with no makeup on, then you're like fully in your depression.
Yeah. You ever just like put makeup on, like you feel really sad, so you put on makeup to feel better, and then it makes it even more dramatic when you're crying. I feel like that's a whole thing. Like put on makeup in order to cry, so you could feel Electra Heart. You know,
I think Sophia Franklin would put on makeup to cry. She would do like the full effect. Quebec, your hair is looking great, Venti. Ooh.
Thank you.
Is that triggering to you? Because I feel like, Venti, in a previous SimpCast, you said in past years you felt like a lot of pressure to like always have straight hair from people.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine if they compliment it. It's just that when it gets to a point when I get comments that are like, not anymore, but in the past, when people would say they prefer the straight hair, it's like, oh, thanks. I guess I'll invest 3 hours every time I wash my hair and then an hour every day, like perfecting it. You know,
it takes a long time. What are you guys feeling on like? There's a new Dyson like hair thing out, and it comes with like a set of tools, and it's supposed to like suck up your hair and go like
Oh yeah, the volcano
like
one,
curl.
right?
I have it.
$500. You have it?
Yes, I do. I actually just going to do a tutorial on it because I like waited forever to get it. Like I would add it to my cart and then I'd be like, do I really need this? Add it to my cart. And finally I got it. And I will be honest with you. The first day I used it, I was like, this is the stupidest thing ever. Then the second week I was like, this is amazing. And now I haven't touched it since then. So I would say, the thing I didn't like about it is it's just weird curls. Like it's not, I think people think it's like curling your hair, but it's not. It actually just is to give it volume. And it just falls and it kind of looks like old lady style curl. Like, I don't know. I didn't like that a lot. I do use a blow dryer part. I use the Dyson blow dryer every day, but all the little attachments. Yeah. And I hate fucking doing my hair. Like I hate it with a passion. So I was really looking forward to it. And like I said, I loved it for like a week and then I haven't touched it.
I wonder if it's like every vibrator I've ever bought where it's like all these settings, all these bells and whistles. And you're like, no, I'm just going to put it on the.
You just need one
Yeah.
setting.
I like the old school, Hitachi that was just like high and higher. It had 2 settings. Call me old fashioned. Okay. From Damaj and I. Oh, and the Dark Council for BHM. Make it so. I'm not sure what that's about. BHM. Booty hole mayhem. I'm not sure. I gotta read these faster so that they're more relevant. Armor Gird, Brittany, you so fire.
That is valid because a female said it. Thank you.
Metroid, Anna, have you played Star Wars Battlefront 2 PvP and Jedi Fallen Order?
No, I have not. They are on my list. I will get to it eventually. Right now, I've been replaying KOTOR 1 again. So yeah. Not yet.
So there. You know, there's only so many hours in a day, Metroid. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to play. This might be a little bit like self-masturbatory. I always say that. I know there's a better word for that, but I'm going to play this Frost Grap. Okay. So it's the impression I did on Friday Night Tights, but somebody mixed it into a rap, and it's like, it's so funny. And I'm going to play it and then probably never talk about it again. All right, here we go. It's like a real beat. This is like a real rap. Okay, here we go.
Friday Night Tights. You're about to get frostbitten. Fasten your seatbelt. Better stop jerking off to me, okay? I smell like burnt hair. Julie, that is stopping you. I talk to you like you're retarded because I think you're all retarded. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. Frostbitten. Press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten. Friday Night Tights. Frostbitten. Press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'll wait. Do not come. I'm gonna come. I'm not qualified. Go ahead. Take my take. Call me Beaver.
Which you're that goddamn ugly. I jerked off to the dislike ratio.
I'm not hot to you.
No. What in the heck did I just walk into?
People keep confusing me for prepubescent Justin Bieber. Someone in the chat called me Eminem mid-transition. Frostbitten. Press F if you're not jerking off. Frostbitten. Friday Night Tights. Frostbitten. Press F if you're not jerking off. I see the chat. I see you in the chat. Hit an F right now. Jerking off to your girl. I'm standing up for all the women at G4. Emily, Abby, Megyn, Joe, Jake, Zipper, Pockets, Scissors, Tape Dispenser, and Violence X-Ray girl. She is a beautiful young Oriental. X-Ray girl.
Give me cock. Ask them the price of cock.
X-Ray girl. Hot accent for you to stroke your chopstick to.
Okay. So
That was so funny.
Like there's no context for this. It's just like
That That was fucking hilarious.
Thank you. I was like, I know I'm gonna do this impression. He was like, oh, I don't have to be hot for you. I'm not here to like be easy on the eyes for you. So I was like, okay, when I do an impression of her, I'm just gonna make her like obsessed with who is or isn't jerking off to her.
I scrolled past pictures of you in the costume, like just the past week or so on Twitter, and I always think it's really her. Like you really got to look down.
Thank you. I'm gonna have to like get like many different heads because now I have so many wigs that I have to like. I need to have a wig room. I think that's how I know I've made it.
Like Dolly Parton in her wig room.
Yes.
Brush the wigs.
Okay, this is unrelated. Young Pei Chang wants to know: did you guys catch the Italian Senate hearing?
Yes.
What happened?
What?
Is that
So somebody they didn't make their whatever they were streaming on close so anyone could jump on the stream. So somebody hijacked their stream and played hentai of Tifa from Final Fantasy getting like fucked.
Oh no.
I'll send it in the private chat if it hasn't been removed from Twitter. But so everyone is just spamming Tifa with like the Italian flag. And they're all just a bunch of Italian like you know, people in parliament just like going, get it off. Let me find it.
You know what's crazy is like, does anybody know anybody who was at like the anti-mandate march or rally in DC? I think what was that this past weekend? I heard that.
Okay, I just sent it to you. You can't show it on air because you'll get struck for a week. So,
oh really?
Yeah, you'll get in trouble.
I'll get in trouble. All right, I'm afraid to click it. I'm gonna bring it up by accident.
Here,
okay, John Kokoza. Oh, he's the guy who either tweeted this or you helped make it. The MC Frost and DJ Perry Chan tweet broke 30K views. Damn. Thanks.
Congrats.
Nick Nuke. So what was the deal with Candace dipping out last week? I think something happened with her like Wi-Fi or something. She wasn't like offended. I didn't scare her off. Although I did wonder that for a minute. But I think she just like her thing broke out or fucked up. Cooking with Ruthie. Chrissie, I would love to see my nerdy home Stephanie on your panel one day. She's awesome. I will have her back. I think she came through last week for a little bit. Russell Hall. Blaire White, did the beach bone guy have eyebrows?
Okay, clearly I'm not in on the joke about eyebrows, but yeah, he did.
Maybe Russell Hall struggled with eyebrows. Okay. Cecil says, therapist is obsessed with your politics. Lose her. She probably doesn't have very many patients who feel that way because it's like she works in Midtown. It's New York City. Like how many Trump voters are really left in the city? Okay.
I'm so glad you're still there. Are you considering moving or?
I am. I think about it all the time. No, I've been going to Texas about like 3 times a year. I visited Tennessee. I feel like I'm getting a very good sampling of like different cities in the country that I might move to. But just because of like living and like family situations, I can't move like right now. Like my boyfriend has a 10-year-old, so I think we kind of have to. It sounds crazy, but like we have to wait till he turns 18, which seems like so long. Like that seems like so many years from now. But it's okay because I don't live in the city. I live in Westchester, which is like an hour away. So it kind of feels like away from the craziness. And luckily, like I only really have to go into the city once a week to do my compound media show. But if I were living in Manhattan, I would be so depressed. Like I would be like, get me the fuck out of here.
Right.
That was Brittany. You were living in Manhattan, right? And then you had to get out.
I was living in Brooklyn.
Okay.
But yeah, basically the same thing. There's just as much homeless people shit and people throwing parties. So it's just the hipster part.
Yeah.
Of New York.
Where do you live, Allie? Not trying to dox you like specifically, but.
Oh, that's okay. I'm in Florida. I'm in South Florida.
Florida. Ugh. Lucky.
We're doing nice down here.
Oh, it's like it doesn't even exist in Florida.
Literally, it's crazy. When we travel, like we go to California and I have to go to LA. I'm just like, every time I'm there, I'm so depressed. Like I just want to come back. I'm like, it's just so crazy there. Like it's overwhelming. Like the minute you get off the plane, it's like a whole different world. I'm like, we don't even think about, like, everybody just does their own thing here. Like, you do what you want to do to do you. Like, nobody's concerned about it. And I go to LA and I'm just like miserable.
And LA is still where I think a lot of content is shot. Like LA and Vegas, I think in Miami are like the main cities.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, being by Miami, I'm loving that like Miami is blowing up like into like the Hollywood of the East because obviously I'm like right in Miami. So it's so much better.
Amy, have you ever thought of like going to like in LA to shoot content? Or I feel like you do a lot of stuff.
I have,
like solo
yeah.
stuff.
I've made content in California, Florida, basically like everywhere I travel to, I work it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard to find like girls or guys to collaborate with? Like, do you just like send out a tweet, or do you like, is that a daunting process?
Just kind of like, I guess the people that have like my inner circle, like not too many people reach out to me and be like, hey, you want to collaborate?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd consider it, but
maybe with the new boobs, who knows?
There you go.
Yeah, I only create content like with my husband, so I don't necessarily go to LA to collab, but just like other opportunities that I've had. Like I went to the Dr. Phil show there recently, and I had to be there like a full week, and I was just like, it was the longest week of my life. Like, it was supposed to be super like exciting, you know what I mean? But it was just like really long.
When did you do this? So Dr. Phil, did it come out yet?
Yeah, it aired December 10th.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit! What was it about?
He just had me on, interviewed my story, my life, kind of, you know, how I came to where I am, what had happened to me at the hospital. The theme of the show was how far is too far for social media. So I was kind of the extreme of that. And that other kid was on there, the one that got like turned down a job or something by Logan Paul. Remember that kid? And he was like crying in his car, like ridiculously. Anyway, he was on there too. And his, you know, they were pretty hard on him, which he definitely.
What kind of job was he gonna get for Logan Paul?
He was like, okay, so the dude was like a, I think he was an electrician no, he's a welder. He was a welder, and he was making like $100,000 a year. He's like 23, and he snuck into backstage at Logan Paul's fight and went up to Logan Paul and was like, dude, can you please give me a job? I really want to be like a famous influencer. And so Logan like gave him advice, but was like, dude, I had to hustle. You have to hustle. Like, you're not getting a handout type thing. And then the kid filmed like a video of him afterwards, like crying hysterically because he quit his freaking job. It was ridiculous, but
I feel like that's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like kind of the thing. Like Dr. Phil was incredibly kind to me. I was very concerned about the interview because I knew what I was expecting, but I was like, look, I'm a smart girl. I'll hold my own. I actually came in quite like ready to defend, you know, especially given my line of work. Super kind to me. So sweet. Everyone on the staff, I had no issues, but he let that kid have it. And it was great because the kid needed a wake up call. I mean, he's still to this day, he's like, he's not working. He's just like struggling out there. But then I'm like, you know what? I never hate on other people's dreams. And if like he's in a position where he doesn't need to make his, you know, money in a regular 9 to 5, then be it. But you know, it's a little crazy to think you're 23 and you're making $100,000 a year. Like maybe just like do it on the side and then
do it on the side. Yes.
No, he totally quit cold turkey.
I feel like he could have asked for the job or internship before he quit.
Yeah,
that's
dumb.
True.
Yeah,
that's so dumb.
Maybe it's to stay committed. Also, I have a question for Blaire. I think I saw a video you had where you were on Dr. Phil too, right?
Yeah. So I filmed an episode of Dr. Phil in I think August, and it got scrapped.
Oh wow.
And I think it was because I was talking about trans shit in the episode, and I think that I just wasn't feeding him sort of the politically correct things that the show wanted. So it got scrapped. And then I made a video talking about how it got scrapped and how he himself was nice, but I think the show was just looking for me to be there playing the victim, being woke, whatever. Like, I guess they didn't do enough research on me to know I'm not like that.
Yeah, the classic example.
Yeah. Like I acknowledged the hardships of being trans on there because they're real, but I flipped it and was like, this is how you use it to become a better person, a stronger person, rise above it, etc., which is not the narrative people want.
Yeah.
And then there was like people that spun it as like beef against Dr. Phil. It was like the Daily Mail wrote a whole thing about how like it made it more intense, and the Snapchat homepage did a thing about it. I was like, people run with shit. Like, I think he's a cool person. I think that the show is just kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I was really, I mean, like I was prepared. I didn't know how he was going to work my story in, considering, you know, like you're basically, I mean, I'm on OnlyFans and, but I was surprised at some of the press that I got in general trying to cover it and how much they covered it. So when he picked it up, I was like, oh, we'll see. But I had my guns ready. I was like, this is not real guns. So I won't get out there. But I had like,
no limit therapist.
How dare you?
And I want to go there. You never know how they'll twist that sound. But
it's almost like, it sounds like he wants his show to be very clickbaity. That's what I'm like.
Yes, which is why he did an episode with his name's Matt Walsh, right? Matt.
Yeah, the conservative Daily Wire guy. Yeah.
An episode with him, and then this like, I don't know if it's a trans woman or a non-binary person. I genuinely don't know what it is, but like presents as a woman with like a full beard, which is like walking, talking clickbait, right? It's like, you know, why would they put someone like me to have a discussion with Matt Walsh, which would have been ultimately, I could imagine, way more productive. They want like some fucking whatever that person was, you know.
So they filmed it and then just never aired it. That's what a waste, like of their resource. Like, what? That's just crazy. It must really not
they have money probably to, you know, throw away. They probably can episodes all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something they do often, but ultimately, I'm glad it didn't air because, like, I don't need that. I don't need like Dr. Phil weird clickbait like drama shit. I don't need that.
And you don't need that for the credit either, Blaire. Like, you are established enough. It's like it's almost like a nod to him to have you on. So,
period.
Yeah. We don't need you, Dr. Phil. Although, if you want to do an episode with me, no, I don't need you either. Elvonis, hello, ladies. How are you doing this evening? This is my first time sending you a super chat. Anywho, just wanted to say hello. Hello. Ooh, I like your beard. All right. That's enough of that. Ermagerd, you just need vitamins and Scientology, not therapy. Uh-oh. That's quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce a new SimpCast record as of 10 p.m. Eastern time. This is the first time we've ever gone an hour without a Brittany burp. Oh, no, that's right. Oh, my goodness. We'll have to muster one up.
I mean, I can go get some water and we can make it happen. If you guys are begging for it so much.
Command, does it have to like how much of it do you force? Like 40%?
No,
it's all
like about 0%. Like the only time I've ever done it on purpose is like if somebody asked me to, and then I'm like, okay, here you go. But yeah,
I don't know if this is sarcastic. Who knew the conversations of women could be so entertaining? Thanks, G. Okay, here is from Archangel. I'm in VA. Gas is like $3 here, and I'm not sure what variant I have, but it's not that bad for me. Oh, good. Good. Oh, Hickson. That's your boy, Brittany. Blaire, in your honest opinion, is Alex Jones secretly bisexual? Oh, right. You sat in next to him.
Her expression said it all.
In that,
she
when they did that episode of like TimCast, in that what band?
I don't think he is secretly bisexual. I think he's just funny. You know what I mean? Like he's just funny. I think he knows that like the fact that we were sitting next to each other on camera was going to be, he's like a meme mastermind. Like he knew it was going to, like he played into it and it caused like a bunch of memes. Like he knew it, you know what I mean?
Wait, he did something gay?
No. He like was joking. Like we did a stream and the whole time he was joking, calling me his wife and like flirting with me and shit like that. And I think he did it to play into the fact that like it was just a funny shot in general, seeing
people
me sitting
next
to
it.
him. Yeah. And I saw him a few nights ago too. And he's just a sweetheart. I love Alex Jones. I'm not ashamed to admit it.
Was that the first time you did a show like with him, or that you were next to him, or was it the first time you met him?
No, he was the first show I ever went on at the very start of my career.
Oh wow!
And the way we met was like I had like maybe like 500 subscribers. I'm not kidding, that little of a channel, and I got this like message from him, and it was this long message of him saying that I inspire him
Wow.
and like just all this really nice shit. So he's always just been like almost like an uncle figure or
Like
something.
a mentor, sort of, or like that's
I
really
wouldn't say
great.
mentor. I'm not like modeling my shit after him, but he has like uncle energy towards me a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of feel a little bit like uncle energy. Like I remember the people when I was just starting out, and I feel like I'm only slightly just past just starting out, but I know when I was like very, very new, I remember the first couple of big guests that I got that for them, like looking back, I'd be like, oh, why would they do my show? Like I was so small. Like it must have just been like out of the kindness of their heart. Like I remember like who were the first Mike Cernovich was one of the first big guests I had. Who else? Stug Stanhope also. He actually admitted that he only did my podcast out of spite, which I was like, you know what, I'll take it. I think he was trying to like spite somebody else. But I'll take it.
Funny.
I'll take a spite cast. Cecil says, I slashed my own tires to put out the vibe to wackos. Okay. Literary question from Bruce Maximus. Are any of you familiar with the greatest love story ever written? The story of Baron and Luthien. Never heard of it. Well, I guess no one else has.
Does this have to do with the greatest story never told, or
I don't know.
Is that like a reference?
Put it on my reading list. Nachama for, I'm not sure, 20 Nazi dollars. I don't know what that says.
That's like a type of cryptocurrency.
Oh, we're in the future. If a person truly has options, they don't have to convince or trick anyone into thinking so. But also, this is a PR fluff piece, 100%. Yeah, I agree. I think she's just being smart. She's trying to attract new listeners. Mid-tier alpha, a real gentleman would slap the drink out of her hand. It could have been spiked.
He's right.
True. Alan Reese. As a very old man, you young ladies are so talented and drop-dead gorgeous. Congratulations on your social media success. You don't look old, Alan. You look like maybe 50. Don't sell yourself short, Alan. Russell Hall, sauce doesn't fix a rotten taco. Yeah. Tomorrow July, BHM, Black History Month. Oh, yeah, that's next month. I'm going to try to have an all-black lineup of guests.
You mean
podcast.
George Floyd month?
Yeah. Oh, man.
You mean Valentine's Day month?
Yeah. That means I need to get a black boyfriend in time for V-Day. What your Hannibal? I'm still sore from last Black History Month. All right. Alexander Kelly, bought your Hannibal Lecter print, Anna.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Ooh, all right.
That's a tweet. You should just tweet. I'm so sore from last week.
All right, I'm gonna do it now. I was
that's pretty good. I'll retweet it.
If you don't tweet that, I'm tweeting that.
I'm so sore from the last Black History. I think I may have tweeted that last year too, but here we go again.
Fuck it.
So that's just it. Just I'm still sore from last Black History Month. I'll just leave that.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Yeah, we're gonna signal boost it.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Ginger Ninja. Oh, Ginger Ninja was on an episode where I had Marika Hase on, and he was the translator. He translated Japanese. It was like actually fucking crazy and funny. Hello, all. Chrissie, you're a blessing to the comedy world. Keep up the great work. I think he's in an Asian country. What is this, yen? 500 yen? Yeah. That translates to like $2. I'll take it though. Morgan Babcock, Chrissy Frank, don't leave New York. We need voices like yours to help us through the bull we are going through now. I understand it's bad, but there's so much beauty and open land here we can't lose. Where is all this open land? Not in New York City.
Probably upstate.
Oh, yeah. Upstate is nice. I've really come around on upstate New York. Boricua Damas. Hi, there's the
There
verb.
we go.
Hi, Blaire. I've been a fan for years. Would you believe I got called a white supremacist and transphobe for supporting you? Shout out to Joey.
Well, that seems pretty retarded. Not that you support me, although maybe a little bit. Just kidding. Yeah, people call me a transphobe too. It's stupid.
Aren't you half Latina?
And people think my last name, yes, and people think that my last name is a racist joke. I couldn't tell you how many times I meet people, even in real life, even that like me, and they're like, so your last name is not really white, right? I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, that's just my name. It's not a racist joke, bitch.
People are dumb. Morgan Babcock, did you Did you all are Matt Walsh on Dr. Phil with the thing? The narrative is breaking apart. I did see that. I don't agree with Matt Walsh on a lot of stuff because he's very conservative. But I liked his rant on Dr. Phil. I feel like he was kind of like, I don't know, standing up.
I liked it. I thought it was one of the rare times in mainstream media where you saw like that ideology really crumble. I don't know why my camera's so blurry. I'm sorry. It's like not focusing.
Yeah, because he was like, he's like, you guys have to acknowledge biology. You have to acknowledge like that your bones are different, especially with this like transgender swimming issue. It's like I was a diver in college, so it's like I would see all the time the slowest man would still be seconds faster than the fastest woman. It's like your torso's longer, your arms are longer. It's all your motor is all up here. Your shoulders are bigger, and you have less drag. You have like very small hips. To just not in a year or so of hormones is not going to take away that you have longer arms, longer legs, narrow hips. It's just not going to be enough to get over that physical advantage. From Banana Lungs, Blaire, do you ever plan on going on tour?
I do have a tour planned for this year, later in the year. So yes. Live events have been kind of dead for the past like year or so because 2021 like wasn't really a super political year because whatever, but 2022 midterms going to be a lot more of a market for political tours. So yes, I will be out.
Nice. While we're on the topic of the Matt Walsh stuff, I want to play this clip. This is from a buddy. We're such close friends. He's done my podcast once. Critical Drinker. I know this is a little bit old, this clip, but I think it's still very relevant. And he talks about, and Anna, and Brittany, I would be interested to hear your feelings on this. This is a clip about defeminizing female characters in film. Here we go.
Thumbnail, didn't I? You dirty fecker. Anyway, I was gearing up to go see Black Widow, and I happened to be perusing the internet, taking in some of the general hype and publicity surrounding the movie, when I stumbled upon this little article where Scarlett Johansson reflects on her changing attitude towards the character. Quote, while Iron Man 2 was really fun and had a lot of great moments in it, the character is so sexualized, She's really talked about like she's a piece of something, like a possession or a thing or whatever, like a piece of ass, really. And Tony even refers to her as something like that at one point. I want some. Jesus, this girl rambles worse than me after a pint of absinthe. Anyway, what she's basically saying here is that she feels the character was treated as a simple sex object in her early appearances, and it's only recently that she's begun to come into her own and get treated as a fully realized human being in her own right, freed from the shackles of sexual...
But also, Black Widow her character was kind of based around being a sex object. So,
well,
okay.
So everyone kind of jumped on this, in like people that talk about pop culture. But so I actually think that statement is fake, as well as like the articles. Because I like to watch people's interviews, like, because I want to see, their mannerisms, their tone of voice, like, are they being sarcastic or not and stuff like that. And every single interview I watched for the promotion of the Black Widow movie, she was super careful about everything that she said. And there was times when they would try to trap her to like say that the movie or her character was sexist, and she would just switch it around to like, oh no, I had so much fun, like finally getting to make this movie and make this character, have her final like, ending in her movie. And I loved getting to know Florence Pugh. That every single interview. But when you saw it written, it was sexism, men, bad, I was used. So it was a complete, 180 from what she was saying in the actual video interviews. And then after the movie came out, because I was like, this isn't making sense. Like, it sounds like these are interviews coming out from two different people, not from Scarlett. And Scarlett's always been super careful about what she says, unless she's getting pissed because they ask everyone else interesting questions and they ask her about her underwear, which I think she was justified there. And so then after the movie came out was when it came out that she was suing Disney for releasing it on Disney Plus and not paying her the whatever amount was agreed upon. And so I think those articles were fake, and her suing them, goes to that, because I think that they were trying to give it bad press before, so that way it would fuck up her lawsuit. So I don't think those articles are real, and what she said in them were real, because again, if you watch any interview she did, complete opposite of what you see written, and there's no links to any kind of audio. There's no photos of any of those interviews that she did, which usually when they're like, oh, I'm interviewing like so and so celebrity or Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man, there'll be like press photos of that interview that the Hollywood Reporter did. Right. So yeah, when it comes to this, yeah, they did totally fuck up her character. They took away her femme fatale-ness and put her literally in sweats and a hoodie in the last movie. What bothered me the most, I'm like, they stopped doing her hair. I'm like, she had beautiful curly hair in the first.
She had like a bad ombre. Yeah. She had like a red to blonde ombre that did not look good.
Not that one. No, not that one. That was when they stopped doing her. So in the first time you see her in Iron Man 2, she's got beautiful like burgundy curls. Then she gets it cut shorter, which was fine. They still were curling her hair. Then in Endgame, it's like she's got the wave and the braid. And then the last one it's like they're like, just get a random wig off of Amazon.
Wow.
Okay, interesting.
Sorry, that was like a deep dive into this whole issue. But so, yeah.
Okay,
sexual attractiveness. Now, I have to admit, my first reaction to this was, Jesus, Scarlett, talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Your career was basically built on the fact that you were extremely beautiful, and you didn't seem to have a problem exploiting that for your own benefit, or banking all those hefty paychecks it generated. But now the big 4-0 is on the horizon, and I guess that stuff will become less of an exploitable asset over the next few years, so it's time to disown it as a dated relic of a different culture. But is it really a fair assessment of the character? And is it a path that you really want to go down? I mean, I'm pretty sure the whole point of Black Widow is that she's a classic femme fatale archetype. She's beautiful and sexy, and she uses those traits to distract or manipulate her male opponents, creating a weakness that she can take advantage of. I mean, female spies have been doing this kind of shit for centuries, for one simple reason: it fucking works. Even way back in Iron Man 2, Black Widow was able to use her beauty to infiltrate Stark Industries so that she could spy on Tony. Yeah, she probably could have fought her way in and defeated the security guards standing in her way, but what would be the point when that wasn't her mission in the first place? Her job was to use every tool at her disposal to complete her objective with minimal collateral damage, and one of her most valuable tools was her looks. Take those things away and you're basically left with a low-tier human Avenger on par with Hawkeye. Someone that can fight and shoot guns to a reasonable standard, and, well, that's it really. But also brings up a larger issue when it comes to how female characters are presented in movies like this. See, there's been a real push in recent years to do away with any hint of femininity and sexual attractiveness in female comic book heroes, which is why we're going to be subjected to stuff like this. That's lovely and all if you happen to be a blue-haired land whale, but is it really what people want to see on screen? See, there's no diplomatic way of saying this, and if there was, I wouldn't do it anyway because I'm a total asshole, so I'll just come out and say it. Women aren't all that interesting to look at if you dress them up like a sack of potatoes. Just ask Kelly Marie Tran. Movies in general, and comic book movies in particular, are basically built on physically attractive people doing incredible things. They exist in a world of hyper-reality where everything is just a little bit more extreme than what we have in the real world. The same physical laws exist, but they're not enforced as strictly. People are stronger, faster, they can punch harder and jump higher, they can take damage that would kill or severely injure a regular person in the real world. Why? Because when it comes to films like these, we don't want reality, we want fantasy. We want a world where the incredible is possible, where dreams and nightmares can come true, and where people can transcend the limitations of our mundane existence to become more than human. Superhuman, if you will. And we want the character's physical appearance to reflect that change. It's not that hard to figure out why. Human beings are instinctively drawn to people who look visually appealing. Handsome men and beautiful women representing the very best of what humans can be. That's literally the reason we get scenes like these. Yeah, somehow I doubt Scarlett has an issue with this kind of stuff, even though it's...
So, Anna, you don't feel like ScarJo, like you feel like she gets it, like she gets that part of her success and the character's success is because she's beautiful. I have noticed a little bit of a trend of like some leading females that like they'll have the success of their role, and then they'll after the fact be like, oh, don't sexualize me. And I just I don't see as many men who are sexualized, like Aquaman, like Captain America, like so many Avengers guys. Like they seem more, I guess, comfortable with the idea that they are sometimes going to be sexualized. And I find it's a little bit of a trend for women to be like, oh, don't sexualize me. But like, we all know it's part of it.
Well, they even toned down the sexualization of men in Marvel. Like, all the guys don't take their shirts off anymore, which I think is bullshit, because they work out super hard to get into super shape like that, and then they have them in clothes the entire time. Like Chris Hemsworth, when he was doing Thor, he talked about it because at first the director was like, oh, no, I feel bad. Like, dude, if you don't want to take your shirt off, then you don't have to. Chris Hemsworth was like, hell no. He's like, I worked out specifically to look like this. There's no way I'm going to have my shirt on for this scene. And so he's like, all right, cool.
I haven't heard many examples of men complaining that they have to take their shirts off, that people like to look at them. Like, do you guys remember Magic Mike? Especially Magic Mike XXL. That I was just tweeting about the scene the other day where Joe Manganiello is trying to make the cashier girl laugh, and he does I Want It That Way is playing, and he slides on the ground like on his knees. He pops open a bottle of water. He like pours it all over himself. And like, I think that's such a good example of like physical comedy, and like you can be sexy and funny. And I would like to see more of that. Not because he's hot and like easy on the eyes, but because it's funny. It's like really funny to me.
Well, it's just interesting that, like, what does progressivism actually get you? Because it feels very regressive to make women feel as though, like, they can't, like, express themselves to be beautiful. They can't be feminine. They can't be sexual. It's, like, bad to think that to have, like, sexual thoughts about women. Like, that's the kind of shit that's, like, from the 40s and 50s. Like, that's not supposed to be some new, like, socially progressive thing. So that's why everyone calls them regressives, because they're literally taking us back.
And until Anna, you said what you just said, that you don't feel like ScarJo really truly is that way. And I was like, okay, I wonder if some women, like maybe if they are getting older, they think, oh shit, am I worried about how much longer I'm going to be able to like attract people on my looks? Do you think like,
well, that's what Blaire was saying earlier about Alyssa Milano. Like, she obviously is in her, she's 44 now, maybe a little bit older. Okay. But she still looks good for her age from what I've seen of her. I personally like Prue better than Phoebe, so I'm like, already with her, because she's the reason why Prue got killed off of Charmed. But she went crazy in politics, right? She didn't need to. Like, she didn't get famous for being a political activist. She got famous because she looked like Ariel, and so they drew her for Ariel, and she was on Charmed. That's it. That's her claim to fame. And now she's older. She's got kids. She's married. So she's like, let me go into politics and push all of these things and then not spell anything correctly, especially people's names. But I don't know.
She's 47? Oh, or maybe she's 48.
I mean, I loved her in Who's the Boss.
She might be turning 50 this year. She's born December 1972. So
she's only gotten crazier as she's gotten older. But I mean, before it was like one of the things that people like to bring up is, Star Trek was sexist. And it's like because the women chose to wear short, like mini skirts and the boots. I'm like, they chose to because that was empowering. That's progressive. But now you got here, it's like if you show like an inch of cleavage online, you're a thought immediately. I remember the first time I ever posted a video on YouTube, and I didn't intend anyone to see it except my friends and family. And my thumbnail, the thing on your channel name, it was like my actual real name, and it was my picture, but it was my Gmail picture. And I was wearing a V-neck shirt. And so there was a little bit of cleavage, and people were like, oh, she's just a thought. And I was like, what is that? And I Googled it. I was like, oh my God, I need to change my picture. So it's like, yeah, we're getting back to the era where it's like, if you don't have your ankles covered up, then you're basically a whore in some people's eyes. And I feel like everyone here has kind of had to deal with that on some level. Like, Allie, when I heard your story, I was like, are you fucking kidding? Like, just because you were doing something on the side, that means that your entire career needs to be ruined. Like, how does that at all affect your ability as a nurse, right?
She had, and
I
Allie had
didn't I didn't even. I mean, I'm not even the one that brought it to everyone's attention. That's what was so shitty. Like, that would have been like my worst fear. It was my worst fear for anyone to find out. Like, I wanted to maintain the two different lives. So yeah, it definitely, there was no other way that anyone knew what I was doing at work, except obviously from people exposing me.
And Allie, yeah, your coworkers exposed you, and then we talked about this when you were on my show like months ago. And to me, it sounded like these were just like jealous bitches. Like, I don't know what they looked like, but one can assume that they were just like jealous because you're hot and you have like this side gig going on. But I don't know. I just think that's icky. I feel like there's a lot of like jealous like women out there, and I feel like a lot of like infighting like in all of our little sections of the internet. I think it's just so much of it comes from jealousy. Like, I feel like with Blaire, a lot of people who give Blaire shit are people who are like deep down just upset that she passes so well, and I feel like most trans people who are the angriest are like, I feel like deep down it's just they're upset that they're not passing or wish they could pass better. Or
I don't think I've literally ever had an attractive trans person hate me. And so people, I'm not trying to be like make it more dramatic, but like I've never had a trans woman who just lives her life and looks like a normal human being that hates me, because they get it. You know what I mean? It's like, and people say that I like pick on ugly people, but it's not my fault that everyone who disagrees with me is ugly.
That's a tweet. That's a tweet.
That sounds like it came from Mean Girls. Like when
it's low key. It's low key. If at least if you shrink it down to the trans world, it's like low key true. Like, it's not my fault that all the people who like the bearded person on Dr. Phil, I've also done videos about. It's like, it's not my fault they look like that and also hold those opinions, which I find incorrect. Like,
it's crazy. Like, I was at Exotica last month, and there was a person who came up to my booth because I had like a podcast booth there. I was live streaming the whole time, and I called this person like Catman, but I don't know that I didn't know if they were trans. I didn't know what they were trying to pass as or what. They had cat ears on and like a little Speedo, a visible penis. Like, not, I mean, you know, it was in the Speedo, but you know, it wasn't out, but everyone could see it. And they were just hi, and then they walked away, and like me and Zia are live streaming, we go, oh yeah, we can see their dick, like like bye. And then they ended up complaining to the head of Exotica that like my live stream had, after the fact, they went and listened to it after the fact, that had made them feel unsafe. And I was like, I didn't make you feel unsafe. Like, we didn't say any of this to your face. Like, you
maybe you felt unsafe that their dick was hanging out.
I'm like, I could see it. Like, it was it was there. And I just was like, oh, I think this has to do with this person's upset that I didn't think that they were a female. I don't know. It's so annoying. Like, the people who are just observing life and calling it like it is are the ones that get in trouble. It's wild.
Yeah, but it's also like, if you look at like just an example, the trans person that was on Dr. Phil with the beard, it's like, I'm sure just based on how that person looks, wherever they go in life, people are probably staring at them weird, probably making strange comments, probably fumbling over pronouns, because who wouldn't? You know what I mean? But it's like, these people look like that almost to justify their own like self-fulfilling prophecy that everyone dislikes them. Like, they make themselves visibly look repulsive so people are uncomfortable, and then they say, look, people are so uncomfortable with trans people. It's like, no, people are uncomfortable with the way you look because you look ridiculous.
Right. Like that person who was on Dr. Phil, they had like delicate facial features. Like, they could have shaved their beard and probably passed for female, but like they insisted on having long hair and also a full beard and mustache. And it's like, you literally look like the Coney Island bearded lady.
It's kind of like
what
is her name? She does makeup. Nikki, like Nikki Tutorials. She just like recently, at least from my memory, came out as trans, or like people were going to expose her. So she's like, no, I'm just going to tell you guys my story from my perspective so you don't hear from someone else. I had no idea. And I'd followed her for a long time because, you know, I mean, we all kind of just follow people on Instagram that do makeup, right? And I had no idea. But I mean, I couldn't tell until she said something. And so it's like, yeah, you definitely can, you know, I feel like there's a level to everyone, like how much effort you actually put in, you know?
Oh, just time spent.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
but there's also like, in some sick ways and in some segments of society, there's actually like a social positive to be a victim. Like you get more
Absolutely.
adoration, more attention, you get money on the internet. And so
Dr. Phil has you on. Yeah.
Exactly. And doesn't scrap your episode. Thanks, Philip. But yeah, it's like that person gets everything they want because they almost are a provocateur. Like, I'm going to go to CVS with a full beard and then yell at someone for saying he and post it online. And then I get attention and clicks and money and TikTok views. It's like, it's just stupid. Like, they're just fucking stupid.
Yeah. Of all the money, like gals, of all the things like that are costly for like gals to like get yourself a razor is like, come on, you can afford a razor. You could
It's the cheapest one.
if you really wanted to. I have a couple more super chats to read, but I know Allie and Blaire have to bounce. So I'm going to let you guys let people know where they can find you and follow you. Allie, thank you so much for coming on. Can't wait to have you back. I know there's like a lot of people and articles and chaos, but you're a delight. Where can people find you and follow you and check out your crypto?
Wetspace. Yeah, we'll be launching next month. Creators that are interested can go to our website and fill out an application. It's going to be awesome. Myself, I'm on OnlyFans. I think, did I hear you are as well, Amy?
I am.
You are on OnlyFans as well. Yeah, for me, it just came out that, with the payment issues and like right when my story was getting big is when they were trying to shut us down. With big payment processors. And so I just kind of ventured off and started to educate myself a little bit about really what the future is of my business, of course, and creators and the type of stability I wanted. And that's where Wetspace came about. So you can just go to my website, thealleyrae.com. You'll definitely find all the links you're looking for. But yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Thanks, Allie. And Blaire, thank you so much for popping your SimpCast cherry. I love all your spicy hot takes. Where can people find you and follow you? And yeah, what's coming up?
Well, thank you. I'll come back on anytime you want me. Just search my name on any platform. I'm sure you'll find me. And yeah, just search me. Sorry.
Oh yeah, and check out her YouTube page. It's fucking awesome. Both of them, Blaire White and Blaire Black. Really awesome, great videos.
I'm transracial too.
Of course. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Thank you, gals. I'm gonna go back into some super chat.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for coming on.
Nice meeting you guys.
Bye. Nice to meet you too.
Toodles.
My cat just took my hair tie from me.
Oh,
She literally never comes up
Cat
here.
move.
She decides, this cat, not the black and white one, Petals, she decided to pay us a visit.
Oh, no. Wait, what is it? Hold on. Solo layout. Cat.
Oh
cat,
my gosh.
Cat. Wait, you have two cats?
What kind of cat is
this
she?
Petals. She's a ragdoll.
Oh my God. She's
Aw,
she's
do you
a
have
fancy
problems
beach
with her
cat.
fur knotting?
Not really.
Oh my God. I have 2 Persians
Cute.
and it's just like, they're assholes. They don't like to be pet. They don't like to be held. They just want food all the time. But so it just turns into like knots. And so I basically just have to shave them anytime they get cute and fluffy like yours. I'm like,
I have a
Well,
Persian
that's why you get a
too, and she gets
ragdoll.
really naughty.
Oh,
Ragdoll-
where is
oh my-
she?
Super
Get her out,
cat.
Amy. No.
They they're very docile because that's how they were bred. It's a recent breed. It started in like the 1960s. Some lady found some random cat on the street that was white and fluffy and really nice. So she was like, I'm going to breed that. And then that's how we have ragdolls now. And so like they're called ragdolls because when you pick them up, they kind of like just flop over and they let you do whatever you want to them.
Aw,
A resistant
very-
arrest.
Oh, that's cute. One of Frank's mom's dogs, Waffles, she's a puppy. For some reason, she keeps growing a dreadlock out of the top of her head, and I don't know if it's because like she's always like putting her head into things, and it just gets like matted. But like, I was
She must
like,
be a unicorn.
maybe she's like part black. I don't know. The dreadlock keeps growing back, and then we cut it, and then it grew back again. All right, couple more soups. Eric K popped in to say, hey, Chrissy and Ma and panel, much love. Nat D, Dr. Phil, Dr. Drew, Jordan Peterson, and Karl Jung and Joseph Campbell saved my life. True. I'm a big fan of longtime fan of Dr. Drew. Only became a fan of Jordan Peterson like in the last maybe 3 years or so. Young Pay, Chrissy, can you say sauce again? Sauce.
Ooh, there's a little New York twang in there.
It's certain
how do you
words.
say water?
Water.
Water. She says it New York style.
Water.
She-
I can say water sometimes if I'm like course correcting. Wonder bucket. Heck with
Water.
that. I say escape New York while you can. Car with dust coming up the back. Don Zalug. Mutt power.
Mutt power. And bimbo power.
Runs with scissors. Hello from New Zealand, ladies and Anna. Blaire. Oops, Blaire's gone. Blaire, do you like the taste of peaches? Asking for a friend. That sounds sexual.
Fucker, you spelled my name wrong on purpose too.
Is
Wow.
he saying, does she eat ass?
That was
I
No,
wonder.
my boyfriend's nickname is Peaches.
Oh.
Oh.
Because he's
That's
sweet and fuzzy like a peach.
Aw. From Morgan Babcock. As someone who has drank over half a pint of American absinthe for whatever that's worth, there's no way you're speaking after drinking. No fun the next day. Yeah, I haven't gotten like ripped. Like, I can't remember last time I got real drunk. Do you remember, Frank? In the Poconos?
2 weeks ago.
Oh, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. I did get drunk, but it's only because I was a little high too.
So you're
Yes.
crossfaded?
So that's why I started falling asleep on the couch. I had like a little bit of Drew had some wacky tobacco. The hot tub.
You forget.
No, I wasn't like I remember going in the hot tub, but I don't think I was so bombed. No, I was not hungover the next. I think it counts if you're hungover the next day.
Well, I think in a month and a half we'll have to revisit.
Yes, when we do Content House, which is wow, I haven't mentioned that at all yet. It's still coming together. All right, forget what I said. All right, K Max, if SimpCast could be sponsored by any drink, what would it be? I think Chrissie is a White Claw gal, but what about the rest? Any drink, alcoholic or non? What is your favorite? A mixed drink. My go-to is like if I'm feeling fancy, a Cosmo, but my go-to is like vodka soda or vodka soda splash of cran with a lime. Ride or die.
Is that some Bombay right there?
Bombay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I also drink Don Julio, but that's
Don
in a cabinet.
Julio. Yeah. I also
yeah,
really
you
like-
know about that.
Anna introduced me to Don Julio, a strawberry margarita. What else was in that? I forget. It was
Alcohol.
so good. It was so good.
It is good, but
It
it's
was
really
great.
expensive.
And it was like,
that's the
and it was
only
like,
thing.
get this, it's really good, which it was, but it was like a $30 drink. But I was like, you know what? When in
It's
Nashville,
expensive tequila.
it is good though. It's pretty smooth.
We need to go out in Nashville again, but you actually need to come out to
Come out.
the
I know, I
downtown
I did
Nashville.
not leave. I didn't leave the Gaylord Opryland. I stayed in the hotel. Do you drink, Brittany?
Yes.
What do you drink?
A lot. Let's see. I kind of just drink whatever's around. I'm okay with anything really. I can drink whiskey straight or tequila, Jose Cuervo Silver, or like beer. I don't really care.
I tried to do a shot of Maker's Mark the other day, and I really was like a college kid, like wincing the whole time.
That was my first liquor I started drinking.
I'm so
Maker's
bad at
Mark.
shots, even still. I don't know if it's a throat issue or what. I gotta practice, I think.
My favorite though is a margarita.
Oh,
Yeah.
Margs.
I can't drink tequila. I can drink anything
No.
else. I can't drink tequila. I can't even smell it.
See, I'm like that with vodka. It smells like nail polish remover. The second I try to
Oh,
drink
it
it, I'm like,
is.
I
Oh,
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I hate vodka and beer. I can't drink beer. It's just nauseating.
Yeah, I have to have like a fancy beer. I'll do like a Blue Moon or like something from like no Austrian. No, I'm thinking
Like New
of-
Amsterdam.
What am I
Is that what
thinking
you're
of?
talking about?
What am I thinking of, Frank? What are the beers I like?
You don't like that?
I like if I have to. If someone's like, you gotta drink a beer, this person dies, I'll be like Blue Moon or
I'll be like, nice knowing you.
oh,
Stella.
it's called Delirium. I like a Delirium. Delirium Tremens. It's like higher alcohol value.
You're lying. I've never seen you drink it.
I've never drank it around you. I like a Hoegaarden. I used to go to what are a Belgian beer garden. Yeah, I'll drink a Belgian beer.
I think my go-to is Merlot, like a really bitter Merlot.
Ugh.
Yeah, I think if
As
you were
bitter
a
as
wine
possible.
venti, you'd be a bitter Merlot.
Everything
You
I
think?
like drink has to be sweet. So when I go out to like wineries, everyone gets so embarrassed because I take my Mio with me and I put it in the wine.
Wait, show your Mio sponsorship. They should sponsor
I
you.
know, Kraft, sponsor me. I literally drink these every single day.
I call these her flavor drops.
They
I
are.
like your
They're my
eyebrows.
drugs.
Your eyebrow shape's really nice.
She has great
Thank
eyebrows.
you. You know what I've discovered? Because I used to use whatchamacallit, like regular like filler or whatever.
Like
so this
pencil?
it's kind of like an eyeliner, but it's like
Wait,
brown
so
ink. I got it for one of my cosplays and I just use it for my eyebrows and
Ooh.
it stays all day. You can get waterproof ones. I didn't, but
Is it like an
like
eyeliner for
$7.
your eyebrows?
Yeah. It works
Ooh.
great. I love it. And
Okay.
then it's it takes a minute to dry, so you can still like brush it out to do the fade.
Ooh.
But thank you.
I feel like I would like it to slowly turn into a makeup tip show. That's my dream. That's my hope. Morgan. Wait, what do you drink, Amy? Anything but tequila?
Anything but tequila. I love my wine and whiskey. I love bourbon.
Cool girls drink brown.
I'll drink a 7 and 7. But I could drink.
Frank likes to drink a 007, which is not the same as a 7 and 7. It's orange juice, orange vodka, and a splash of Axe body spray. Okay, from Morgan, I'm all for Marvel and DC being inclusive or whatever, as long as the content is good and not demeaning to the average person watching. As of now, IDFC. Morgan, thanks, buddy. From Steve Oranges, Brittany thinks she all that because she got the good hair now.
Who do you think you're talking to?
Don't
you know who I am? I'm
Right?
straight-haired Brittany.
Recognize.
Watch yourself.
From K-Max, Rams Paul was just a guest who made a joke about Kelly Marie Tran of Star Wars. Her character was Rose. What was Anna's view? I think the media was stretching for a woke moment. Chrissy, your view too.
I don't know who Rams Paul was or is and what their joke was.
People think he's a white nationalist, but he has a lot of good points. I interviewed him recently, and I don't know. I feel like I interview a lot of people who the media call white nationalists.
Let me ask the chat. What was the joke? And I'll tell you my opinion. I don't know who this person is or what the joke was.
I should be able.
All I know is I got canceled for taking a picture with a cosplayer that was dressed like Rose Tico from Star Wars. I asked her if I could take a selfie. I was at LA Comic-Con. I was in an elevator. And so one of the things, excuse me, I mean, my friends had talked about was it's like, she looks fucking terrible in The Last Jedi, like with a stupid little ponytail with her bangs, like, or, when you have your little baby hairs and it's all flipped out. I'm like, that's the point of putting your hair up in a ponytail is to get that shit out. And then they put her in a potato sack. And then you see Kelly Marie Tran on the red carpet. And it's like, wow, she actually looks good. So it's like they took this chick and they made her look as ugly as fucking possible. So in the last movie, her hair is fixed and she's actually wearing it's still a utility outfit, but at least it shows off her figure and it's not, a potato sack. And so me and my friends had talked about this. So it's like, oh, wow. Of course, when given the option between two costumes, they picked the better looking costume than the shitty one. So I took a picture with this cosplayer in an elevator, and a month later, I was getting canceled for something. And then they went back. They stalked this chick because I posted the picture on Twitter and I didn't even know she had a Twitter. They found her and then they told her that I was bullying her. And then she's like, can you please take the picture down?
Wow.
You're racist and all that. And I'm like,
what the? Wow.
Oh, wow.
It was ridiculous.
Like I said, you said bully.
A bully.
Did I say bully?
Yeah.
Bullying her.
Bully.
Yeah. I was a bully. I was bullying her. And I'm like, I didn't even tag her. She said I could take the picture. She's smiling in the photo. Like, it's a selfie. Come on. But yeah, that made me a racist and I bully Asian people and I'm mean to cosplayers and I'm not welcome in the cosplay community. So I'm like, fuck it.
I'm changing.
You guys are crazy. But yeah, I don't know what the joke was. And I don't know. How do you even say his name?
Rams
Rams
Paul.
I
Yeah.
wanted to call him
Ramsey Paul.
Rapunzel when I first
Ramsey
saw
Paul.
it.
Oh, it's Ramsey Paul Ramsey.
Oh.
I can't find it either. Oh, thank you, Kivo. The 70, damn. I align mostly with those like Walsh and Shapiro, but I feel they foolishly disregard those like me and others who are politically conservative, but wave a freak flag. We can be conservative-ish and not be the preacher from Footloose. Much respect,
Good
ladies.
reference.
I have not seen Footloose.
I'm aging myself.
You haven't seen Footloose?
No.
Oh my god.
I
I
do.
We're talking about the original Footloose and not the remake.
Yeah,
I
with
do
Kevin
agree
Bacon.
with you, Evo. Yeah, I think I can understand how people who are very conservative, like they want to keep the group sort of like purist. Like I think of, I don't know, Brittany, if you identify as a conservative, but I think of like John Doyle. I think of like Elijah Schaefer. I think of Savannah Hernandez as like classically very conservative, and like even if you're a little bit outside that, it's kind of like you're out of the group. And I just feel
I
like
don't know. I feel like Elijah is a little outside of that. And maybe same with Savannah, because she was saying when she was on here, she doesn't even qualify as like a classical conservative.
Savannah said that?
Yeah, she said something along those lines when she was going off about something. when she was
Really?
on here.
Okay. I was feeling that she was more of a classical conservative because the way she was talking about what's her face who got kicked out of Turning Point USA, Brandy Love, and I was like, I don't think they should have kicked her out, and she was like, well, she doesn't represent their values, and I'm like, well, what are you going to kick out everybody who's ever watched porn? Like, where does it end? What other jobs are you going to justify kicking somebody out for? But yeah, I think when we talk about like, all right, kind of bringing people together to kind of combat progressive liberalism and like crazy leftism for like just mostly common sense, which is where most people lie, is like kind of in the middle. Yeah, I think it's kind of counterproductive to kind of like kick people out for not being like perfect conservatives or whatever. Interesting. All right, mid-tier alpha. The ladies in my office all took the afternoon off to go see Thor Ragnarok when it came out. Not a single comic book fan among them. Yeah, Hemsworth, he fine. All the Hemsworth words. Sebastian Anon. Dang it, go in late. Question for the ladies left. What's your thoughts on the rise of the VTubers? What's a VTuber?
Virtual
it's-
YouTuber.
Yeah, you mentioned one before how you tried to get them to come on. Project Melody is a VTuber. So it's literally like an anime character. And so they I don't know, sometimes you have to have like a suit, and so but you have an animated character, whether it be Western or Eastern, and then you have the suit and you move around and you have the capture ability. And you just stream like that. People are really into it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I think VTubers, I think as a concept, it's pretty comfy. I don't have anything against it inherently. My problem comes in when it starts to be lolicons and when they start pandering to predators and like grooming kids into like doing that too. And they grow up into like fapping into the images of little children and like sexualizing children, normalizing that. That's where I draw the line. But VTubing as a concept, I think is fine. Like,
Yeah.
I would be down to do that. Like, who feels like getting ready every day?
Exactly.
Sign me up for the metaverse.
Just like
trying.
and a good example of that, if you guys don't know who I'm referring to, Gaoru Gura, when her fans were like attacking me for bringing this up, because on her Twitter, the official one, the company's Twitter, it's a company product, and people will pay hundreds of dollars of super chats, like simping for a manufactured company product, getting angry at me. How dare you talk about her like that? And like these people, because I spoke out against it, the fact that they're using a child to like kind of pander to men and also children growing up watching that too, and making it sexual, I thought it was gross. And the Twitter's retweeting like these really lewd sexual fan arts of this little girl that's wink wink 9,000 years old but talks like a baby goo goo gaga.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yeah,
I know
and
what
then
you're talking about.
And then they were like sending me death threats, like just several death threats. It was crazy. Like I've never seen such a trigger group of people. And it's all over their like manufactured product. It's not even a girl they're simping. It's a literal manufactured product to pander to children and to creepy men, basically.
Weird.
That's disturbing.
Amy,
Yeah,
what do
it
you
is.
think about virtual reality?
I mean, there's a market for everything. It hasn't really come across across my path as of yet, but I don't know. I know it is a pain in the ass to get ready to make a YouTube video because I have to like do my hair, do my makeup, make sure everything's on point. I have to like stand there and like rub my nipples for like 20 minutes so they're not sticking out. Like I have perpetually hard nipples all the time. And like YouTube does not like that. So I have to like, I have Band-Aids on them. I have everything and it does not help. And like that's, I don't know.
Wait,
maybe
so
I
what
should do this
happens?
virtual.
Does it flag you?
Yeah. Or it doesn't, they'll like not
With the
monetize
nipple
it fully.
flag. The pink flag.
I'll get like half monetized.
You
That's
can't
stupid.
do VTube. You didn't pay for this boob job for nothing.
I know.
That was the boob job number one.
How long do boobs last? Is that a dumb question?
They say you should switch them every like 10 years. I got like 17 years
mattress.
out of the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. I think if I recall correctly, her company, Hololive, tried to shut me down. I think they tried to copy strike me, and then YouTube sided with me. So they're not even like, they're like pro censorship. Don't say anything to our talent, okay? Don't say anything about our talent. They don't care about fair use. So
Damn.
generally, that whole sphere is psychotic.
That's great. From Alan Reese. Chris, can you please show the Kathy Griffin video? Her short hair video. Oh, which one is that? No, I think I talked about it in my Kathy Griffin video that I did. I did a video on Kathy Griffin. Check it out. I feel like I really let her have it. No, she bothers me. She's such a Hollywood grifter. She's so establishment. And I realized that like every other year, she's like, I'm a victim. I'm being persecuted for my political beliefs. Oh, I'm sorry for holding up the bloody Trump head. And then she sells out a theater. So it's like, I have no like pity for her at all. She's good. And then she has a picture of her like in her like multi-million-dollar like loft in LA. And she's like, I'm struggling.
And didn't she? I think she just got like secretly married or something.
Oh, really?
I'm glad somebody married that.
Gross. I know.
All she does is remind me that gingers have no souls.
They do have no souls. That's why I'm a fake ginger. And it makes me think twice about like getting older with red hair. I'm like, ugh, it looks so bad on her. Craig Stouse. Chrissy, please bring Venti to CMP 400. What is CMP 400? Oh, an episode. Oh, episode 400.
That's gonna be.
Oh, I usually have Gavin McGinnis on for every 100 episodes. I feel like I made maybe for $3.99 or $4.01. Russell Hall. Anna's cats are just frustrated because she yells at them, sprays them with water every time they try getting frisky. We reap what we sow.
Okay. The thing with my cats is that they're both deaf, and I'm pretty sure that they're retarded, and they hate me.
Oh.
And yeah, they just, I don't know. I got them in a weird way, and all they want to do is pee on everything and not be held and break everything and eat all the food. That's it.
That's bad.
And yes,
it's like
they do try to get frisky, but that is, I stopped spraying them. I just keep them separated when that happens.
The peeing, I think, is they're marking their territory. Like maybe is there more than one cat? Like, are they trying to is there infighting?
No. They like each other. No, at first I thought it was the boy kitty, Ziggy, but then I discovered that it's actually girl kitty. She's just stupid, and she just, whenever she needs to go, she just squats wherever she is and goes. And I'm
I can't believe they're deaf and retarded. You can't be both. You have to pick one.
They're
Can't
both.
be doubly disabled.
I got super mad because I posted a picture of Ziggy because so they each have mismatched eyes. It's just switched on both of them. And so I posted a picture of him and he's white with like the beautiful eyes. And I was like, look at my pretty cat. He's an asshole, but he's beautiful. And then somebody was like, is your cat deaf? And I was like, what the fuck? No, my cat's not deaf. And then I thought about it because I was angry. And I'm like, how rude, like thinking my cat is deaf. And then I'm like, wait a second. He's not afraid of the vacuum. Neither of them are afraid of the vacuum. And I was like, wait a second. And I'm like, they always get shocked when I come up and pet them when they're sleeping. Like they freak out. And I'm like, because they must not hear me coming. And I'm like, and they like water. And I'm like, oh my, and I told my boyfriend because we were driving home when I realized this. I'm like, oh my God, babe, I think the cats are deaf. And he's like, why? And I was like, all the reasons I just listed. And so when we got home, one was sleeping on the coffee table. The other one was sleeping on like the kitchen, the kitchen table chair that was like pushed in. And so I went over and that was a girl kitty. I went over and pet girl kitty. She freaked out. I'm like, okay, they're definitely deaf. And then boy kitty was still sleeping on the coffee table. And my boyfriend started like clapping above him and he didn't wake up. And I'm like, my cats are deaf.
What if you spelt out Braille using Kibble and see if they read it?
They're too stupid.
Oh. Oh, I missed a super chat from John Mallon. I'm learning a lot. Hi, Blaire, Brittany, and the rest. Simpin. Thanks, John. I found the Rams Paul joke from earlier. I only laughed at the time. Now I do remember it, and I did laugh at the time because I did watch Battlestar Galactica. This is from Rams Paul. Battlestar Galactica, Asian first, Last Jedi Asian. Obviously, the First Order failed to cut off the Resistance supply line of food. Oh. Womp womp. Not the funniest.
It's more like okay, what the fuck is that hairstyle? What the fuck is that outfit? Like no woman would voluntarily wear her hair like that.
This is like a cartoon.
It's like, imagine getting cast in Star Wars. It's your big break. You're finally going to be an actress because I think she won some radio thing and that's how she got to this.
Wow.
And so it's like, yay, mom, dad, I'm going to be in Star Wars. And then you see that that's your costume and that's your hair. I'd be like, fuck an A.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, I'm not wearing that.
I would my big break.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good question from Russell. Would Anna drink a beer to save Cecil's life?
No. Cecil's lived a long life. I'm not drinking beer. I hate beer.
I like Cecil. Graham Paltakin, lemon extract is a cheap 83% alcohol content. No, it's not. Really? Wow. The more you know. Young Pei Chang, 5 for Frank. It's going to be a long week. What do you mean by that, Young Pei? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Young Pei. Oh, 5 for Kayla, too, for good luck. Oh, is that from my other fan/friend, Kayla? Russell Hall back. Anna, your cats hate you because you cock block them.
Yep.
Do your animals ever watch you have sex? I couldn't be okay with that.
All the time. Yes.
No.
Oh,
why?
Yes.
No.
I don't know why, but they do.
I used to have an
ex shit when they don't even get off the bed anymore.
My ex Raph wouldn't even he would keep his dog in the room. Like what? I didn't like that. I didn't like that he was watching us. Like I love the dog. It's like why I stayed with him as long as I did was I love that dog. I love Charlie. Oh, he died too. I'm so sad. Because I like sometimes check out what he's up to, and I was like, oh no, Charlie died. I didn't like that the dog would watch us bang. We barely banged. Nesquik, 5 for cat diapers for Anna's bimbo cats. And Morgan Babcock. Oh God, here's a throwback. Jack Murphy liked peeing on his territory. I haven't heard from him in a minute. He's fallen off a little bit. What were Brittany's thoughts on Cecil from the Jack Show? Yeah, Brittany, you did the Jack Show recently.
I thought it was a fun episode. I didn't have a problem with anyone there. Although the projection about every man watches porn was incorrect. But, nonetheless, it was a good time. And I feel like Anna was very much in her element.
Who said every man watches porn? Did Cecil say that?
I think I said that.
No, it was one of the guys. I forgot which one, though. I forgot who said it. And I was like, stop projecting.
Was it the one with the mask?
No.
Was it the one without eyebrows?
I can't remember.
I think most guys watch porn. Like, I've never met a man who didn't watch porn who I dated.
A lot definitely do, but there are definitely some that don't, that it aligns with, like, for example, like either their Christian values or like for moral reasons or for their own health benefit reasons.
They want to keep all their cum to their self. Like, Brittany, would it be, are you seeing anybody right now? Would it be a deal breaker if a guy that you were dating watched porn?
Yes, it is a deal breaker. It's a massive deal breaker. Like, I won't even consider it.
Like, if they do or if they don't watch it?
If they watch it.
Oh.
So none of Amy's subscribers would be in the running for Brittany's BS.
I don't ask for anything they don't also provide loyalty-wise, so I think it's a perfectly fair request.
I don't know. I would have a hard time dating a guy if he didn't watch porn, to be honest. Because I feel like it's... I don't know. I feel like that's not, like... At least in my opinion, like, I like guys that, like, really know what they're doing. And I feel like guys that... I don't have time to do everything all the time. So it's like, have your little outlet. I have my own little outlets. And then do our own thing together. You know? And I don't know. There's certain guys that you can, certain guys that you can't with. Like, if I watched it with my boyfriend now, I'd probably just laugh the whole time, you know? And I just make jokes because I do that sometimes when I'm uncomfortable. But
I've done that. I've made it real unsexy, real quick. I'm like, look at the they don't even match. What is that, a sheet over the couch? What the hell? Someone vacuum. Like, I can make it bad. But yeah, I also don't want to feel like if it's so much that the guy is not able to, like, get it up with you, that is bad. That would make me feel terrible. I'd be like,
yeah, if it's like on the level of Michael Fassbender and Shame, it's like, okay, yeah, you need serious help. But I don't know, to each their own, and everyone has their different interests on, like, what and their level whatnot they're attracted to.
Yeah. From Patrick T, Rose Tico equals Dora the Explorer. Yeah, she could totally play her.
Well, but Dora's Mexican.
Oh,
was that
right.
Shane? Did Shane send a super chat to SimpCast?
Yes.
Oh no.
Why skip John Mellon super chat? I missed it somehow. Frank is supposed to star them, and then I read them. I'm not blaming him. I did too. He just turned around slowly and gave me a strange look. Wow. Someone's Asian alarm went off.
Yeah, I'm like getting freaked out. I think my phone's haunted. That's the second time something very weird has happened today with it. Something very embarrassing happened earlier, and I'm like still cringing about it. I'm kind of like worried to talk about it because, like, what if they're watching? Because it was just so embarrassing. Okay, I feel like there's a low chance of them watching, so I'll just say what happened.
Okay.
So, you know, I was having like a black pill moment, and I just wanted to like rant to like feel good and kind of like, you know, it's like somewhat of a shit post too for fun, you know? And so I was talking to my friends, and they're about to drive me back here so I could go on the podcast. And I was having a whole femcel monologue, like Elliot Rodgers style to them. And they're all guys, by the way. I mean, I'm just having this femcel monologue and about how I'm black-pilled about men and how, like, I am not motivated by anything unless it has to do with, like, if it... Okay, so basically what happened was I went on monologue, we went outside, and I was holding my phone in my hand. And I said something along the lines after this monologue of, you guys know how dogs are food motivated? I think I'm dick motivated. And then I looked at my phone, and it turns out my ex is on the call for 2 minutes. He heard me say that. He heard me talk about how, like, I'm motivated by, like, getting a husband and, like, only want to work towards that, and, like, how I'm motivated by dick. He heard.
How would you have called him though? Like, how long ago was the breakup?
Like in May or like
That's
April.
So
yeah, April.
random.
Oh my god.
And my phone randomly called him. Like, it was just in my hand. I don't even know how it happened because so it had to be unlocked, and it had to open the phone app, and then it had to click his name to call. He wasn't in like my recent calls. I didn't recently text him, nothing. It was like paranormal activity shit.
It is Mercury retrograde right now until
it is. You're right.
Until February 3rd. It started January 14th till February 3rd. So a lot can go awry technically, with phones and communication in Mercury retrograde.
That's true, actually. I didn't even think of that because that was just like so far fetched.
Conversation after this? Did you like pick up or did you hang up?
No, it was right after I made the comment about how I'm dick motivated, and then I looked down and I saw it and I immediately clicked X and I started screaming, and all my friends were like, Brittany, why are you screaming? And I was like, because the worst thing that could possibly happen on a phone just happened. They're like, what?
Oh no.
I was like, my phone had my X online. They didn't realize why I was freaking out. And then I told them, they were all laughing at me. And when they dropped me off, they yelled outside the car when I went outside, dick motivated, and drove off.
No. Guys, did you know that this candle can help you survive Mercury retrograde? This is just taking advantage of us. January 14th to March to February 3rd is Mercury retrograde. Electronics go haywire. Gadgets go haywire, and your thought process. Computers and cell phones during Mercury retrograde are horror stories about accidentally replying all to a company-wide email. Electronics gone haywire are typically associated with Mercury retrograde because they're items we use to facilitate communications. Ooh, during Mercury retrograde, travel is often delayed. Technology becomes more likely to glitch. Says Comstock Gay. So be careful to back up important files. Make sure you got your dates and times right, and double check that you're actually sending the message to the right person. True. Blaire was in the chat an hour early.
Oh yeah,
it's a time zone snafu. Technical difficulties are commonly associated with Mercury retrogrades, period, but it also can make a mess of your personal life. After all, communication is one of the foundations of healthy relationships. So when a communication goes awry, so do our relationships. Interpersonal misunderstandings are common too. And then there are
you're also supposed to not get your hair cut during it. I did it anyway.
Selling you a fucking $50 candle. That sucks. I don't like that. Buy this tea. Ugh. Come on. Get this blanket. Have a mineral bath. No, you can get Epsom salts for $5 at Target. Fuck that shit. Mercury retrograde set. Okay, this is just taking advantage of us. A kit comes with salt, crystals, spells, black candle. Wow. No, this is like total retail, less than $10.
That seems really complicated for me.
This is crazy. A crystal bundle.
I can't buy candles without smelling them first.
You have to smell them.
Yeah.
Bath and Body Works just had a crystal sale. I was all over it.
Mm-hmm. Bath and Body Works sells crystals?
No, not crystals. They had a candle sale.
Oh.
Sorry if I said crystal. Crystals. Yeah, it looks like I have a little seance going on over here. Like I have candles and things. And then this I got from Mexico. I was in Mexico like right before the pandemic.
The COVID.
The before times. A couple more super chats from Matt Deckard. All this is well and good, but how does it help us rid world of moose and squirrel? Stay beautiful. I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
It's a Rocky and Bullwinkle reference.
Oh. I haven't seen that in like 20 years.
Old. I remember Rocky and Bullwinkle had a special like Taco Bell sponsorship. Like one summer, all I could do, like you had to eat 100 tacos and you got a free t-shirt. So there was one summer where I made everybody in the house, like we were constantly going to Taco Bell, and I made everybody eat as many tacos as I could like possibly manage, all to get this t-shirt that eventually ended up at a garage sale for like $2.
Yeah.
I wish I had that shirt though. Russell Hall, what type of porn does Peaches watch? Hold on, let me guess. Short, tubby guys with micro beans and leather masks. Am I close?
No.
What is he like?
I'm not gonna talk about that on air. He watches his stuff. I'll watch my stuff.
That's private, Russell. How dare you? Patrick, Rose Tico is Dora the Explorer. Taco Tico. That's cute. Why did you look at me, Frank? What?
Seems suspicious. Is it something creepy or?
Is it creepy?
Fetishy?
No, maybe he just doesn't. Maybe she just doesn't want to talk about the kind of porn that.
It's
Should I talk about
nobody's business what kind of porn
Yeah.
my boyfriend watches,
Should I
to
talk
be
about
honest.
what kind of porn does Frank like? I feel like you like lesbian stuff. Like, no? What do you like? Well, I haven't watched porn with you in a long time.
Anna's not gonna say what Peaches is into.
Frank will say what he's into if Anna says what Peaches is into.
No, I'm gonna just drop it because
She's
it's
not
nobody's
That's
business.
their private thing. You're trying to get up in their business. But now I do want to know what kind of porn are you watching now, Frank? Pregnant porn, weird stuff, midgets, slip and slides, butt stuff, Jack Murphy porn. What? Now I'm curious. All right, Young Pay, Brittany, maybe think about visiting a convent. No, I think a lot of people feel like Brittany does. I think it does take like balls to be like, hey, I'm actually like not cool with porn, because I feel like there's a lot of pressure to just be like okay with all of it because we live in modern times. Okay,
I think it's a little bit more taboo to talk about sometimes too.
Yeah.
You know?
And people start asking you what kind of porn you like. Nesquick, dick motivated. I think I found a new merch design. All right, a couple more. Jason Smith. Anna, please stream watching Star Wars with Brittany. I would love to see that. I personally would love to watch that.
Oh my god. Do you talk during movies, Brittany?
She is partially black, so maybe.
You're muted.
I said not typically. I don't talk during movies.
I think that'd be really funny to watch like the juxtaposition, because like she did tell a couple of spoilers, but you still haven't seen it yet, so I think a lot of it would be a surprise.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Can we even stream a Star? I don't know if we can stream Star Wars.
Right? Could you record it? Yes. Could you stream it? Maybe not. Maybe you could record it and then post it, but what's the fun in that?
Well, I'm trying to even
maybe
think
just
of like
focusing on you guys talking about it, but not showing the movie.
Oh, okay. And you could be a watch along with commentary.
That's not
bad.
Or like a reaction video, like when they did Two Girls, One Cup. All those
maybe
years
like
ago.
in Discord.
And they would film everybody watching it for the first time. It was
Two
hilarious.
girls, one ship.
Yeah, I'd have to get like the right version because I don't even know what version they have on Disney Plus now, but you would need to watch the original version, not this other stuff. I would have to find it and then somehow figure out how to set that up. But if somebody in the chat knows how to do all that and has those editions at the ready, email me.
That'd be good. Okay, one more from Russell Hall. Whatever, I'll ask Cecil if he'll answer his shats. Oh, Russell, it's like we're having a whole conversation with you. No, it's all good. Okay, let's see. Did I get to all the things I wanted to talk to you? All right, really quickly. Did you guys hear about this was big news this week or last week, that Mars, which is the company that makes M&Ms, had this whole like they were talking about, we need to make M&Ms more inclusive, so they kind of rebranded the M&Ms a little bit. Like they took the high heels or the go-go boots off of the green M&M, and now there's a brown M&M with like glasses, and now she's got the high heels. And
well, no, she's always had heels, so her heels just changed.
Okay.
The brown one?
Yeah, she had like stiletto heels, and the green one had like go-go boots. And the brown one's always had glasses, but they just made her heels thicker, and then they changed all of their legs so they don't have skin color, so they all just have white legs. And,
yes, and then they all have just like tights on, which I don't understand how that's more inclusive.
Like the Smurfs.
Yes, exactly. Pants. Yeah, like Mickey Mouse. Let me share this, and it's interesting because now there's a little bit of an update because people were very up in arms, upset with like M&M Mars being woke. So here was the new like crew right here. It used to be like she was in the high heels, the green M&M, and now
So now they're like all androgynous.
Well, she was in boots.
No, the
Yeah.
brown one still has heels.
and she's got now she's got
Yeah,
the heels.
the brown one still has
Okay.
heels. The green one had go-go boots.
But now the
Like a
brown
little
one is
jewel
seen as
on 'em.
the boss of all of them. I think it's just funny because now it's like this came out. UN Watchdog slams inclusive M&M campaign while parent company sponsors China Olympics. Candy
Well, it's not
manufacturer-
only that, they're doing this to distract from the fact that they're getting sued for using child labor in like Mexico.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It really is always like this. It's like the companies go and virtue signal all day, but then they'll just use sweatshop workers and child labor. It's like, okay, it's all performative.
Exactly. It's exactly that. Yeah. Hillel Neuer, the executive director of UN Watch, a human rights non-governmental organization, and United Nations watchdog group. I guess he tweeted out, let's see. Oh yeah. Mars Global to make M&Ms more inclusive as it sponsors the Beijing 2022 Uyghur Genocide Olympics. And they also use child labor. So it's like this is the flashy stuff that gets all of attention and gets us talking about M&Ms. Obviously, like I fell for it. I was talking about it. I'm like up in ours. I'm like, oh, we're all the orange M&M. We're all like, what the fuck's going on? Meanwhile, it's free advertising for M&Ms, but you know, if they're sponsoring the Olympics, that's bad. Or a sponsor. And then Robbie Starbuck, candy maker at Mars, has announced they're remaking M&Ms to be more inclusive for a progressive world. Mars is sponsoring the Olympics in communist China, where they have concentration camps for Uyghurs. Woke corporations are authentic as elected Dems, hypocrites. Yeah, it's cray. It's all a distraction. But I don't know. I am craving M&Ms now.
So it worked.
It worked. It worked. And it's like, it's like I
just baked some bomb banana bread before I got on here.
Ooh.
It came out of the pan perfectly. Like it belongs in a magazine. I'm so
like
proud of
one
myself.
piece. Ooh, I want to see a picture.
I'll send it to you.
I'm like, go get it.
It's cooling.
I'm like, we already had inclusive M&Ms. Like we had ones with nuts and ones that didn't have nuts. Boom. There you go. Oh, I think we have too many M&Ms now.
I like
All right.
mini M&Ms. That's what I kind of was pissed off about. I'm like, you fuckers, I haven't had mini M&Ms in any of the stores by me for months now, but now you guys are all worried about your inclusivity. I'm like, worry about getting your product out there, man.
Oh, the tiny ones and with the little caps and like the little shakers.
Well, like, I get like the party packs that's in a bag, and I'll just sit and munch on them, but they're so good.
Oh my God. From your wife's BF, brown M&Ms cause 50% of diabetes despite being only 15% of the bag. All right. Not touching that one. Okay. This was great. This was a great SimpCast, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Let the good people of the chat, the good Simps out there, let them know where they can find you and follow you and what's coming up. Venti, let them know.
All right. So you can find me on Instagram, Brittany Wears and Brittany Venti, as well as I have a Patreon and I have a community Discord, and you get in it through Patreon. We have movie night where we all watch movies. And it's kind of like YouTube chat in a way, you know, an image board combination, but it's fun. And also obviously my YouTube channel, which is Brittany. And recently I was talking about this trans person that scammed $300,000 out of people because like it was a survival fund to get a tit job and pink nails or whatever. So
whoa,
wow.
I do content like that's a little spicy, but if you're into that, spicy in that way, not in the like OnlyFans kind of way.
We will not see
But, yeah.
Brittany's nipples, but we will see her hot takes.
Thank
Jesus
you, Krystyna.
Davila coming in at the last minute. Ladies, what's the most funniest story you can recall that has happened to you or someone you know? Oh my God, what a broad question.
Your mom.
Your dad. Funniest story. funniest story. What was funny?
Mine was the one I already mentioned earlier. The fact that 4 people witnessed this happening in real time. It was just.
Oh God, yeah,
It was like
That was a great
sitcom.
story.
Yeah, that's my answer too. Is Brittany somehow accidentally calling her ex and then talking about how she's motivated by dick.
And the worst part is I don't even know if he was listening or if it was on voicemail, and he'll just be able to replay it over and over and over. Me talking about how I'm dick motivated.
No, it's gonna be his ringtone. That's awesome. That's gonna be worth something one day.
Well, it's like when you're scrolling through and you're trying to remove people from your phone book and you accidentally FaceTime them and you're like, no, I'm deleting you. I haven't talked to you in 3 years. And now I'm FaceTiming you like a crazy person.
I had like all of my exes. I don't even think I have their numbers anymore. I'm pretty sure like the second it's a breakup, it's like blocked, deleted.
I changed their name to like, don't answer. This is a trap. Like I go through stages of like, don't drunk dial me. Like I have to change.
Oh, I do that too. It's effective. Like you deserve better as a name. That's a really good one.
Yes. Like don't do it. Like don't do it is calling you. Amy, thank you so much for coming on the SimpCast. You're a delight. I'm so happy for your new boobs. I can't wait to hear about what new adventures you have with them. Let people know where they can find you.
I am on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Loyal Fans, and OnlyFans, all with Whatevah _Amy. So it's WHATEVAH_AMY.
Nice.
If you go to any of my pages, you can go to whateveramy.com and get all my links.
All right. Awesome. Anna, thank you for being here as always.
Thank you for inviting me. You guys can find me anywhere as that Star Wars girl. And then I also have an art channel. It's called The Art in a TSWG Studios. And I am so close to finishing this painting. Do you guys want to see it?
Yes.
I spent 9 hours painting this damn thing yesterday.
Whoa.
Oh
my gosh.
That's awesome.
Ugh. So my New Year's resolution was that I wanted to paint one portrait of a character every month. And so this so far is my painting of Homelander. Or not Homelander.
Wow.
Omni-Man. Yeah.
He looks
so
like
I still got a lot to do.
Megyn a little bit, who's a gay comic in New York.
Oh, yeah. If you watch the show Invincible, he's like their version of Superman, but he's bad.
Ooh, I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I was doing this while I was on EFAP yesterday. So it's like, if you want to see me do stuff like this in real time, go subscribe to my art channel. I'm trying to grow that one.
Ooh.
And
I love it. I love even like the shading.
Thank you. Thank you.
The shading on it was good.
I love it. So I have such talented friends. This is really just I feel like a proud aunt. Okay, guys. Well, me? Sure. Let's see. We got some shows coming up. February 26th, Comedians of the Compound will be coming back to Governors in Levittown, Long Island. Then I will be heading to Savannah, Georgia on March 19th to the Wormhole Comedy Club, and then March 20th I'll be at Side Splitters in Tampa, and then more fun stuff that's coming together that I'll be able to announce pretty soon. Yeah. And the album live from January 6th. I think that's what I'll call the album. I think it'll be ready sometime next month. I will let you guys know as soon as I have details. It's being cut up now. The album is being produced by my friend Aaron Berg. It's going to be called Uncancelable Records, which I love the name. I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. I think it's pretty funny. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you to the Simps in the chat. Thanks for your comments, questions, and super chats. Until next time, guys. Love you all. Happy